Live from Art Hooper Stadium on the campus of Nevada Union High School. Touchdown Productions, your championship television for the Foothills, is proud to present the Miners' Road to the Playoffs. Tonight on the 2004 Senior Night, your Nevada Union Miners take on league rival Hiram Johnson Warriors. All the action is coming up right here on your Foothill Game of the Week. And welcome back to Hooper Stadium for the 2004 Senior Night as the Nevada Union Miners take on the Hiram Johnson Warriors. I'm Marty Mortensen along with our football analyst Jim Adams, our production and producer director Gil Dominguez, and of course the rest of the Touchdown Production sports team. And Jim, the Miners come home tonight still undefeated in league play.
That's right, Marty. The Miners come home tonight for this one game against Johnson and celebrate senior night after two games on the road, which saw them defeat the Kennedy Cougars and then a very tough and physical Yuba City squad last week. Johnson comes into tonight's contest with only one win, but it was a crushing victory against McClatchy where they racked up 42 points.
And with Granite Bay beating Grant 2 weeks ago, the pressure is on now to keep pace with the Metro League leader Granite Bay, who beat this same Johnson team by a score of 65-6.
And of course, Marty, the Miners travel to Grant High School next week for their annual showdown with the Pacers. So the season winds down. As the season winds down, these games get even more important.
But before we get into the senior night ceremonies, let's pause to remind you that Nevada Union Miner football is an exclusive telecast of Touchdown Production and is being underwritten tonight by Liberty Motors and the new Liberty Outlet in Auburn, owned by the Alkenbrecht family. Liberty Motors is your local Dodge Chrysler Plymouth dealer in Grass Valley, offering the Motor Trend's SUV of the year, the 2004 Hemi-powered Dodge Durango. Liberty Motors and Liberty Motors in Auburn.
Hanson Brothers Construction and HB Rentals. Winter is here, and HB Rental Manager Craig Arthur knows you have a lot of work to do, so HB Rentals has a variety of tools that you need to finish those projects and help you prepare for cold weather ahead. Hanson Brothers Construction and HB Rentals.
Mike Bratton, State Farm Insurance and Financial Services. State Farm Insurance agent Mike Bratton and his staff of local professionals can take care of your insurance needs that you may have, including auto, life, and health insurance to protect you and your investments. It's Mike Bratton, State Farm Insurance and Financial Services.
Placer Title Company. Chief Title Officer Larry Ingersoll reminds you that Placer Title now has two locations to serve you in Grass Valley and the new office in Bear River. And both locations offer you complete title and escrow service for any real estate transaction. Placer Title Company.
Paulette's Country Kitchen. Paulette and John Rickard specialize in traditional country-style breakfast for lunch. They serve all day long and complete and a varied menu, including egg dishes, country potatoes, and daily lunch specials, and homemade pies. Paulette's Country Kitchen.
Landcraft Landscape Construction. Homecraft Building and Design. Tony Barros and Brian Foster double team you with their custom home design service. Tony scores points early by creating custom outdoor living spaces, while Brian wins the game by remodeling fine custom homes. Landcraft Landscape Construction and Homecraft Building and Design.
And by Touchdown Productions, championship television for the Foothills since 1997. Thank you for joining us tonight as we follow all the local teams on their road to the playoffs on our Foothill network of stations. ACTV Channel 20 in Auburn, USA Media Channel 23 in Bear River and Colfax, NCTV Channel 11 in Grass Valley and Nevada City, and our newest station in Lake of the Pines, it's Channel 7. Don't forget, next week, Grant will be there to cover the game, and we'll bring all the action to you. We'll be looking forward to that, as that's a must-win for Nevada Union if they want to continue on their quest to the playoffs. Hey, Jim, I might want to point out, with all the seniors and their parents being ready to get introduced, not many players on the field warming up.
No, we have about 30 seniors who will be recognized tonight along with their parents. And, you know, this is a big night for the players. For many years in their lives, their families, their mom and their dad, have devoted a lot to these players, to their growth, to the years that they have played football. And for some of these seniors, Marty, this being the Johnson game, this could be, for some of the people who are not the regulars, this could be some of the last times that they see action. So a big night for them, a sentimental night for them. For their moms and their dads, they invest as much in their football careers as the kids do themselves. And so this is a real important night. And NU comes in. Let's take a little bit of an inventory here before we start with the seniors, and let's take a little bit of a look back at last week's game against Yuba City. Let me give you the good and the bad. Stellar running game. Last week, the Herreras ran for almost more than 10 yards a carry, both of them. Chris Potter did not have as many runs, but had a nice screen play for a touchdown. The kicking game was spectacular. Chris Ulinski, again, excellent night. The run defense limited Yuba City to only 70 yards. And I'll give you the good news and the bad news. The good news is the special teams did a great job, in which they had 3 returns for touchdowns. The bad news is that special teams had a poor performance, because on each of those returns they were for penalties. So one of the things that they're looking at tonight is to limit those penalties. Another thing that a little bit of concern about the pass defense. Last week, Yuba City's 2 touchdowns were scored on a 50-yard touchdown play and a 52-yard touchdown play, and they also, NU had 90 yards in penalties. So, Marty, a few things to work on for tonight.
All right, thanks, Jim. And just a reminder that this Nevada Union Miners Road to the Playoffs is an exclusive telecast of Touchdown Production and is being underwritten tonight by Top This Truck and Auto Accessories. Chuck Cavro specializes in truck products for all construction and commercial trades, with products from weather guard, DZ, highway products, and racket truck racks. Top This Truck and Auto Accessories.
Archer's Automotive Service and Smog Check, third-generation owner Brendan Brooks has teamed up with ASE-certified mechanic Kevin Maltese to continue the tradition of automotive service that began with his grandfather Archie over 60 years ago. Archer's Automotive Service and Smog Check.
Taylor Heavy Hauling, with 35 trucks at their disposal. Richard, Sheila, and Dusty Taylor specialize in heavy hauling. From the big stuff to the little stuff, they can handle all your transportation needs. Taylor Heavy Hauling.
Plaza Tire and Auto Service. Mike and Mark Hauser are proud to be an official Michelin dealer and offers you the new Michelin Hydro Edge with the 85,000-mile warranty. And Mark is proud to donate his time for the community as the voice of Hooper Stadium. Plaza Tire and Auto Service.
The House of Print and Copy, Patty Free, now owns the copy store and that thinks it's a print shop. From business cards to brochures, the House of Print and Copy can handle all your business and professional needs. And their new Canon color copier completes your jobs in minutes. It's the House of Print and Copy.
And Walker's Office Supplies. Mike Anderson and the staff at Walker's know your business, and they certainly know your name. Specialize in business office products to make your job a lot easier and support Bear River Youth Sports. Walker's Office Supplies.
And by Touchdown Productions, championship television for the Foothills, celebrating our 8th season televising high school football. This is Marty Mortensen along with my partner Jim Adams saying thank you for inviting us into your living rooms tonight and every week as we continue to deliver the best in local sports right here on your Foothill Game of the Week on our Foothill network of stations.
Well, Marty, it's nice to be back with you. A couple of weeks there that I wasn't with you. I know that you probably missed me immensely, but here I am back for our trio of games to end out the regular season. We've got Johnson tonight, and then it doesn't get any easier, as you mentioned in the warm-ups. Grant next week at Grant, and then that upstart team, Granite Bay, who beat Grant a few weeks ago. So we've got 3 exciting games that are going to round out our season right here.
Well, and you're talking about an upstart team of Granite Bay. They've started in Division 3 when they first started, and they moved up to Division 2. They've won everything in Division 3, everything in Division 2. Now they're up in Division 1, and they're winning again. So
and they are, and they're a power to contend with. But let's take a moment, focus in here tonight on Johnson. When you looked at this on the schedule, you thought that this might be an easy game, but that's not going to be the case. Johnson is fast, they're talented, they are have quick students in the skilled positions, and they have a lot of talent to stay with NU. NU has to have a fast start. They did not have that last week in Yuba City. They've got to win the first quarter, they've got to win the first quarter big, and they've got to come out strong. And the first quarter is going to be a key to this game, because if they allow Johnson to stay in the game, it could be a much tougher game than you thought about it in the beginning. And let's take a moment and honor some of our seniors here. Rich Herrera, number 2, is the first senior to be honored, and there's his folks, very active in the NU football program. I had a chance to sit with them last week at the game of Yuba City. And number 3, Bo Castle. And there's John, and there's Paulette right there. Paulette, a really strong person in our community. Bo has had an excellent season for the Miners. And there's Nathan Basso, had 2 good balls thrown at him last week. He's very hard on himself. He did not make the receptions, but I expect a big game from Bo this week, and from Nathan this week, and another big player there. And there's JP Beer Temple. JP and his family, very active in the community. His mom volunteered, his dad volunteered at the basketball event that we had a few weeks ago. And there's JP right there. And next is number 9, Mike Strong. And there is Mike right there with his mom. Mike has had a good season, had a couple big gainers last week, and there's Steve Davis. Steve Davis, whose season was cut short by his concussion a few weeks ago, and yet a really important person to this team, a real leader. Was sad to see him go. Number 11. And there's Stephen Davis right there.
Yeah, while you were gone, he came up and helped us in the booth that night.
I heard he did a great job. And there's Nick Cartan right there with Marianne and Mike Cartan. Mike, a teacher at NU. Marianne, also very active educationally in the community. And Nick Cartan, just an absolutely great kid. One of my favorites here, number 12, Chris Ulinski. Chris Ulinski with Mike and Mary Ulinski. Chris is an absolutely great kid. You might think that he has some college potential, but his parents, to whom this is so important, are also fantastic individuals. Both of them very active in the community, and so great people that way. Number 17.
You can keep walking with them too.
And there's Jacob Moore right there, number 17 for Nevada Union. Has a good full family there. And here is the second of the Herreras, Ryan Herrera. Right there. There he is with his folks. His folks get double duty tonight. Dad, the loud one, Mom, the quiet one. Both of them root their sons on tremendously during the course of the game. Great respect for them.
Thanks again.
There's number 22, Chad Feuder there with his parents, another senior. And
Garrett Lee.
And Garrett Lee, there's Garrett Lee, yes, number 23 right there. Garrett with his parents. Garrett has had an excellent season this year, and is a good player for Nevada Union, has had an excellent season, obviously to be very proud of it. And next is, I think we would probably see number 28, Chris Potter. And there is number 26, Doug Potter. So Doug and Chris Potter there they are on double duty. The Potter dad is an interesting guy. Whenever I see him, he says, you got to talk more about those Potter boys, and so I always get a laugh there. Both of them very intense players. Chris has had an excellent year. Doug has had an excellent year. Really strong players on the team. Number 33, there is Nick Cantrell right there. Nick with his parents, and Nick also has had an excellent season. And number 40, there is Nick Sawyer right there, another one of our seniors with his folks. And number 41, there's Dan Ferguson with his mom. And there, look at the number of seniors that we have. We counted more than 30. Matt Meadow right there as they line up. Number 55, there's David Sussberg right there with his mom. The parents invest so much time in this program, and for these players who start early in the morning, they start when the sun rises, they quit when the sun sets. And there's number 56, Julian Rosala right there. Rosales with his parents, Julian Rosales. And right there, number 58, Brian Corderis. Corderi. And you see number 60 right back there in the background. You saw R.C. Cameron. R.C. has had a good season, too. Really good, outstanding player. Has contributed a lot. Was on one of our Wednesday programs, and good friends with our executive director, Gil Dominguez. Number 63, an individual who just does a great job. Juvie Lopez, real strong player for Nevada Union. There he is with his folks, and tremendous contributor as a senior to the team. We should be see number 66, and there he is, Nick Murray. And we're kind of winding it down here. And Zach McCaslin, number 71. And there's number 78, Chris Whitman. And number 84 right there, Tyler Hargrove. And there's Tyler Hargrove. There's number 77, Gary Wilmoth. And then number 88, Brendan McFadden. There's number 84 right there, Tyler Hargrove. And there's Brennan back there in the back with his mom and his dad. Of course, Louise, a teacher here at Nevada Union and one of the most popular teachers at Nevada Union, not only does a great job, but is loved by our students. And so proud of Brennan. Brennan was on our show last week, our Wednesday night live program. Great individual, does a great job. And there's Coach Humphers with Mark Miller. Mark is one of the trainers on the team. Mark has been with the team for the long haul. You always see him on the sidelines. He is definitely a special addition to the NU team, and is a real inspirational individual. And now the senior cheerleaders. And I believe that's Krista Campbell right there. And our next one should be Danielle Dawson, just right behind her there. So there's Danielle Dawson.
Yes, Danielle. Can't tell the cheerleaders without a number on their back. Just looking for the picture in the book here.
Well, Marty, you watch him very closely every week. I would think you did know.
Thank you.
And there's...
Can't tell who that is. Try and look at the picture.
Our final senior cheerleader, Jessica Nichols.
Jessica Nichols right there.
A big round of applause for our senior cheerleaders.
And that's it. There's our senior players. There's our senior cheerleaders. The players are lined up on the sidelines, and what a great opportunity it is to honor all of the senior contributors. In fact, I guess now we're going to have the senior band. Marty, I think you should bring up the rear senior citizen.
Oh, thank you very much. I notice you're hitting a milestone here real soon.
I'm going to have you there to help me limp into my 50th birthday.
Well, I've already seen that a long time ago, buddy. Tough to be old. Now we got the band coming out on the senior band members.
And the band does a great job every week. They're an inspirational crew, and they bring a lot of personality to the Nevada Union Games. And here are a number of the senior band members. And you know, Marty, I think that as you take a look here at the seniors that we're celebrating, we could have a much more competitive game than might be on paper tonight. This is not a, and I don't say this poorly, but this is not a McClatchy, this is not a Kennedy. Johnson has, not that they're horrible programs, because they're not, but Johnson brings a little bit of a different grade. Nevada Union has to be careful not to be looking beyond this particular week, not to be looking to next week their engagement at Grant. And there's got to be some focuses this week as they tune up, because last week after the game, Coach Dave Humphers says we definitely have some things to work on. And tonight, what are they going to work on? They've got to eliminate turnovers. They had 4 turnovers last week. Normally, you don't win games when you have more turnovers than the opposition. Last year at Yuba City, they had 4 turnovers to Yuba City's 3. That's something you have to be careful of. In addition to that, I kind of alluded to it early on, penalties. They've got to reduce the number of penalties, especially on the special teams, especially the blocking and the back penalties. This week, the players were told, if you can't see the player's face, if you can't see the front numbers on his jersey, don't throw a block, because sometimes those blocks in the back, especially if it's run for a touchdown, shows as a 10-yard penalty, but it's actually a 50-yard penalty. And
6 points.
Absolutely. And you saw 3 touchdowns run back last week. You saw, in essence, 21 points taken off the scoreboard. In addition to that, we're going to see some focus this week on tackling and causing the pile to go back. That's one of the goals that they have. You know, I think they also need to step it up on the pass rush. They had 1 big tackle last week that resulted in the first fumble of the game by Andrew Moon, a bone-crushing tackle in which the player had to be helped off the field, but that was the only sack that they had. And after that play, Yuba City made their adjustments and was able to do much better. So, you know, you might say, I think that Coach Dave Humphers has set a couple of goals for the game. His goals are sometimes pretty high, but he wants 8 pile tips, which means that on 8 occasions he wants the players to come in on defense, 8 or more of them in on a tackle. His second one, he wants to pitch a shutout tonight. And the third one is to produce 4 turnovers while giving up no turnovers. So those are some of the things that NU has to look forward to tonight and that they're going to work on. But Marty, along with that comes some not so good news that may not play out in the long run. Let's talk about injuries for just a moment. Last week in the first quarter, Josh Noxon, who is the leading wide receiver, tore his ACL. He came back into the game, Marty, on 3 different occasions, caught 3 more passes, played the rest of the game. He is out this week, and they're contemplating surgery, but before they do that, there's going to be a brace for his leg, and he's going to try to give it a go next week against Grant, so I'm kind of glad we'll be there. That will be something that will be interesting. Last week also, I've got to share with you, we did not have that game on the Game of the Week, an extremely physical game. Yuba City, a very tough team. Mike McLean for Nevada Union suffered a concussion. He didn't have a memory loss, but had a real bad headache, had a very tough weekend. Mike will not be playing tonight. And then Jason Weathern, also in the first quarter, he received a pinched nerve as a result of a stinger, and he didn't necessarily have a bad week, but he is out for precautionary purposes. So that's the injury report. Everyone except for Noxon should not be a question mark next week, Marty, but it will be very interesting to see how Noxon does next week. And now let's go on the field for the coin toss.
Some friends of mine. It's Mike McKinney's going to be on this side. Mr. Michael Rourke's going to be deep as a back judge. Dan Costello's going to be inside as the umpire. And Chuck Prince going to be on that sideline, guys. Gentlemen, you've been chosen to be captains. That's for a reason. You've earned the respect of your team. We expect you to help out if there's anything that goes on the field that needs your attention. If you can't help, then we will help. Okay? I've got a coin. That's heads. That's tails. That's heads. That's tails.
Yes, sir.
You came a long way. You get the call.
You want
in
tails?
The air. You want tails?
Yes, sir.
He wants tails. Okay. What is it? It's tails. So you win the toss.
We want the ball.
And you want the ball. Okay. Which goal you want to defend, son? You want to defend that goal there? Put your backs right there. White, you put your backs here. White, you win the toss. Okay, guys, one more thing. Bring it back in here. Good sportsmanship, respect for the game, and respect for each other, you guys. Let's have a good ball game, huh?
Good luck, guys.
Go out and get your team.
Blue ball.
Here we go. I don't know if it's a bad omen or not, Marty, but a flag is already on the field.
I see that.
One of the officials dropped his flag early on, and I hope that's not a prelude of things to, because last week it certainly was.
I think the umpire was calling unsportsmanlike conduct on the microphone operator when he held that microphone right next to the referee's whistle.
That must have been it. Nevada Union will kick off, and they will start on defense. Chris Ulinski has had an excellent season as far as defense is, as far as kickoff is concerned. Not only has he contributed several field goals, but is one of the most reliable long-distance kickers in the Metro League. In fact, you'd probably be able to build a case that he was the most reliable. And then when NU goes on defense, tackling, pass rush, pass defense, those are all going to be big things tonight. This can't be viewed as a tune-up, but by the same token, the team needs to make a statement defensively.
I think we'll now go down on the field here as the NU Boys Choir will do and sing the national anthem for tonight.
Singing the national anthem tonight under the direction of Mr. Borski. Let's welcome the Miners Chorus.
All right, here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bumper singing air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice job tonight, as usual, by the NU Boys Choir. Chorus, I should say. I get corrected by Mark Hauser in the background because he said the same thing I did. He said choir, and then he came back with chorus, and I got it now.
Well, you take a look out on the field, and you know, one of the things that's kind of interesting, Marty, is we went through a complete season change in 1 week. Last week, pretty warm. This week, here in the Nevada City Grass Valley area, we've received almost 4 inches of rain. But, Marty, the field looks pretty good for tonight's contest.
The field is in great shape. They've done a nice job on the lettering of the numbers on the field, so we know exactly where each sideline number is. And last week it was pretty tough down in Sacramento. We never did get the yardage right. But it's a different story here at Nevada Union, where they painted the field up. Just a little bit of brown in the center of the field, but I think it's kind of warmed up a little bit tonight as the cloud cover has come in as another storm approaches. But I think we'll get this game underway tonight without any rain.
And let's hope so here.
Nevada Union lost the toss as the coin flip went to the Johnson Warriors, and so Nevada Union will be kicking off, and once again we'll probably see Ulinski put the ball in the end zone as usual. Don't want to put the jinx on him. One of the other things that I noticed early on, Jim, you might want to talk about, is that Coach Humphers doesn't have his special fishing hat on tonight. Did you notice that?
No, he doesn't. I think that he has made the change in appearance from last week to this week. And usually he sheds it at about this time. So Dave's ready to go. The teams are ready to go. Here we go, Marty.
There's the ball going deep into the end zone. It will not be run back. As it goes into the end zone, it'll be brought out to the 20-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Johnson Warriors. Let's see if we can't set the offense for the Warriors here as they come out onto the field.
And this will begin the test for the pass defense tonight. Definitely this needs to be a tune-up game to get them ready for next week against Grant, but they've also got to do their job and try to make sure that history doesn't repeat itself from some of the plays that happened last week in Yuba City.
Well, looking at one of the offensive linemen, 315-pound junior. So quick pass over the left side, and that goes for about a 12-yard gain. It'll be first down on the first play from scrimmage.
So don't underestimate Hiram Johnson. Their skilled players are excellent players, and this could be a good contest tonight.
Two backs in the backfield, two split ends. There's a pass going down the sidelines. Got his man open, and he just overthrows him.
You know, let's talk about two aspects of that play. Andrew Jackson was right in on the quarterback. But with that said, Marty, again, on that particular play, number 13 for Johnson, Jeremy Jones, was out in front of the defender.
And that ball was just overthrown by about 2 feet.
And that really reminded me of the play that Yuba City came out with last week that got them their first touchdown. Although that was a 52-yarder, this one would have been a 69-yarder.
Single back in the backfield, in motion. And there's a quick handoff. He fumbles the ball, and coming up to save it for... Oh, it looks like... Are they going to give it to Nevada Union?
They're conferring.
Yes, they are, it looks like. And that was Andrew Moon on that recovery. Well, Nevada Union will take over 1st and 10 on the Johnson 30-yard line. Let's see. Maybe we might have a replay on that to see exactly what happened.
Let me set this offensively for Nevada Union. We're going to see Ty at quarterback tonight, and Nick Cartan in a little bit of a different position. Nick is going to be a wide receiver tonight. Nevada Union will come out throwing.
Going back to pass. A quick pass over the middle. Boy, that is a big play. It takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. That was to Nick Cartan.
And there's the first play to Nick on that particular play. So Nick opens up big. watch for Nick in this first series of plays. Now, they may change a little bit of what their sequence was supposed to be. This should be a pass play.
And it's looking for in the corner, but well covered. He's going to get sacked, thrown for a loss back at the 20-yard line. As that looked like Cartan in the corner of the end zone, but he was well covered by the secondary, and so Ty Smith had to eat that ball, and he was thrown for a loss back, and they marked it at the 19-yard line. So now it'll be second down and about 16 yards to go. In motion is Rich Herrera. Oh, he's going to get sacked again by number 18. That's Dorleen Kimbrough, 5'7", 146, junior, playing both ways as he came in and threw.
And Kimbrough snuck in from that left side of the Miners' offense.
So the very first play from scrimmage goes for a first down, but now it's third down and about 23 yards to go. And there's a rollout. And just overthrew. That was Cartan again into the left flat. Just overthrew him a little bit. Well covered by the secondary, and that'll bring up fourth down. And I guess coming in for a field goal attempt will be Chris Ulinski.
So after a first down, the drive really bogs down, and a little bit disappointing because they moved backwards about another 12 yards. So Ulinski will come in for about a 44-yard field goal attempt. Cartan the holder.
Good snap. Oh, it's going to be pulled way left.
So Chris did not get his foot on that one well, and after recovering a fumble, Nevada Union in prime territory, almost in the red zone at that particular point, drives down deep into the red zone to about the 12-yard line, but then gets pushed back on 2 sacks and an incompletion, and the Warriors will take over from the Nevada Union 20-yard line.
So it looked very promising on that first play from scrimmage. Turns into a couple losses, and now it's 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line for these Warriors. And up over center is Meyer. Oh, long pass way downfield. He's got a strong arm as that ball went 40 yards in the air. Just overthrew his receiver.
Much better coverage there by senior number 17, Jacob Moore.
Well, it's a good thing the weather is in pretty good shape tonight. The field's in good shape, because if it was raining and muddy, we would never be able to recognize the numbers on this Johnson team. It's hard to see their letters right now. But look at the size of that one lineman, 315-pound junior. There's a handoff. That's going nowhere as the front right side of the Nevada Union defensive line comes up and stops Terrell Keys.
And great pursuit there by Andrew Jackson from the left side of the Nevada Union defensive line. He circled right around and got involved in that play. And that will bring up a third down. I'm going to say third down and 12 yards to go.
Well, they have to get all the way out to about the 30-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wideouts, and there's a rollout. The quarterback has got a man in the flat, but oh, and it's caught.
Incomplete.
No, he dropped it. That was too bad, because it was he had it in his hands there for a minute. That was number 10, Caleb Ellis.
And Ellis really had that. He could have had a good chance, but let's take a look at 2 plays ago. There is that ball over on the left side. Great pursuit there. Remember what we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast tonight, 8-man tackle, and there was a great gang tackle situation. That led to 3rd and 12, the incompletion, and now 4th down in a kicking situation for Hiram Johnson.
Big rush, but they get the kick away, and it's going to go out of bounds, it looks like. All the way on down. Good roll, and it's going to come back in, and it goes dead on about the, let's see where they're going to spot it, about the 30.
No, I guess it went out earlier. And see, Marty, that was an excellent kick by Johnson in reality, because two of the biggest weapons that Nevada Union had last week were Brenly and J.P. Beer Temple. Their returns, albeit with penalties, their returns were absolutely phenomenal.
The in motion is Herrera. He hands it off to Rich over the right side. Big yardage. It opens up. He could go all the way. He's down to the 30 with blockers in front of him. The 20, the 10, the 5. He trots into the end zone. Touchdown, Nevada Union.
62-yard carry there by Herrera. And where the passing game left off, the running game picked up. An excellent sweep to the right side by Herrera, and a great job 62 yards later, Marty, 6-0.
Well, I tell you, looks like a flag on the field. So that's going to get called back on a block.
Flag is at the 45-yard line of Johnson, so it will go back from there, and it will bring up a first down, and that's exactly what Dave Humphers talked about earlier. The need, and that has got to have him boiling right now, because that's exactly what he said. Do not allow penalties to kill us. And let's see on the replay if we can see where that penalty occurred. There is the handoff. Sweep to the right by Herrera. And cuts right over there. Let's see if we can see it here. Well, that's hard to see. It must have been in... That couldn't have been it right there.
Because it was so far away from the play.
I mean, an excellent run, and this is the same situation. First down and 4.
Going back to pass. Out. And it's thrown to Herrera. Rich Herrera catches that pass out of the backfield. As it looked like Nick Cartan was going to take it. And then all of a sudden, Herrera reached up and grabbed it.
We're going to see a big mix on offense tonight. Last week, it was mainly the draw. The Herreras were used a lot. Here's the hurry-up offense. We will see a mix of passes and running plays tonight.
Now there's a handoff over the right side to Mike Strong as he tries to turn it to the outside and picks up a few yards, not much. About 4 yards. They got Ryan Herrera back in the backfield now. Quick huddle back out on the line of scrimmage. First handoff to the first man through, and boy, it fooled me. And that was the ball carrier was Ryan Herrera, number 20.
Right. Ryan takes it down to where it'll be about a 3rd and 3 yards to go. It'll be interesting to see the call that they make in this particular situation. Nevada Union in need of a first down to continue this drive, 3rd and 3.
Quick pass, and Nick started to run with the ball before he got it, and they drops it. He had a first down easy with just a fall forward and he just took his eye off the ball as he was looking downfield to see where he was going to go.
Had a chance to talk to Nick prior to the game tonight, and Nick was really looking forward to this new assignment. Although we probably will not see him at quarterback tonight, he was looking forward to split in, and I guess we're going to go for it on fourth down.
And there's a handoff, first down. That's that same play that went for a touchdown, and Herrera breaks away, and it's going to go for a touchdown again. He's down to the 5 and into the end zone for a touchdown. Nevada Union, let's replay that one. Boy, what a great move by Rich Herrera.
And I don't know if you noticed it, but the replay will show it. A big block by Ty Smith, number 4, for Nevada Union, the quarterback, over in the left flat that really broke things up. So he hands off the ball and then heads upfield to deliver the block. But with that said, Herrera is just incredible. Great run on that play with broken tackles. And now it is Nevada Union 6 and Hiram Johnson nothing.
Well, that was quite a play as he broke a couple of tackles. That was the same one that went for 62 yards that was called back. Same play. There's a good kick by Jelinski, and that's good for the point. 7-0 your score. We've got 7:24 left in the first quarter.
And let's take a look at that play. Here he is, gives off to Herrera, and watch Herrera. goes right around that right side, just as he did, like Marty said on the other play. But look at the wisdom that he shows. Again, he's going to cut back against the grain and come on over to the left side. And look at, there's a big broken tackle right there. And there you see Ty Smith coming on over. And in just a moment, I hope you'll get to see it. Watch this block. There he is, right there. Bang.
Oh, man, just leveled him. Great block. That sprung him loose. That was all he needed. And he lumbers into the end zone.
Kevin Muhammad had a shot at him, but he made it over the pylon, 7-0, Nevada Union.
So that was 4th and about 3. Goes for a touchdown. Here's the kick by Ulinski. Kind of a knuckleball coming up to the 5-yard line. Picked up in there, and he runs over the left side, trying to break it out to the outside, and nothing there. Is good coverage by Nevada Union as they stayed in their lanes and held that to just a short gain after he picked the ball up. So they'll take it over on their own 21-yard line. 1st and 10.
7:16 to play here in the first quarter. And the Warriors will start from about the 22-yard line.
Two backs in the backfield. Going back to pass is the quarterback. Now he rolls out. He's going to get, and he tries to pitch it forward. It's going to go as incomplete pass. Smart play in there by...
Good penetration there by David Sussberg. He did a great job of penetrating that offensive line, and he almost had a tackle on the play. In fact, Marty, I was a little bit surprised that they didn't throw an intentional grounding in that particular situation, but that will bring up a 2nd down and 10. And that's really...
He did throw it forward, and he had a receiver there, and he was behind the line of scrimmage, so the referee can only... Although it was a throwaway, he did get an incomplete pass on it, so it's now 2nd and 10. There's a handoff up the middle, and that is Terrell Keys. He breaks it for Bowd. It looks like they're going to give him a 1st down.
I think he did earn a 1st down. Jacob Moore in on the tackle for Nevada Union. No, I guess it'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 1.
Just a little bit short where they spotted the ball, so it'll be 3rd down. And now the referees called timeout. Let's see if they're going to have a measurement.
Happy 16th birthday to Kristen Zanoni. Happy birthday, Kristen.
3rd and 1. It might be 1st and 10.
They're going to bring out the chains to take a quick measurement. I thought it was a 1st down when he...
It really looked like it at the conclusion of the play, and maybe it will play out that way. Let's take a look here. Nope, a little bit short.
It is just about a foot short.
So a great opportunity for Nevada Union right here. 3rd and short, a situation that they're going to run up against, not only in the remainder of the regular Metro Conference season, but also in the playoffs if they are so honored to compete in those, which it certainly looks like they probably will based on the defeat of Yuba City last week. But 3rd and about a foot.
Rich Herrera scores his 4th touchdown of the season tonight. He's got a long way to go to catch Ryan. Now it's 3rd and just a little over a foot. And the quarterback keeps it himself and takes it over the left side, and he'll go for the 1st down.
So Johnson picks up another 1st down. I believe that is their 2nd of the game.
That's quarterback Brian Meir, 6'3", 198-pound senior.
And Johnson, Marty, early on, Johnson has shown an ability to move the ball.
Yeah, they have.
Even some of their incompletions have been plays that potentially could be big gainers.
First and 10 for the Warriors on their own 34. In motion is Tyrell, and then he hands it off to him going over the right side. He got good speed, breaks to the outside, and a touchdown-saving tackle right there that looked like
J.P. Beer Temple there
came up and made that
tripped
stop.
him up. And, you know, as we said at the outset, Marty, this Warriors team, in the areas where they have their skilled players, they are skilled people who can make a difference.
Certainly, and on that play, you saw the speed of Terrell Keys.
And in fact, let's take a look at that. It'll go right away from us there on the right side. And you can take a look at that big gain that he has there. Beer Temple tripping him up right at the end. Back to live action.
Here's a handoff, quick handoff over the right side, but nothing going on there as Jim Gamble came up and made that stop.
And nice penetration there by Gamble. That's really what they need in that run situation. Their run defense last week was excellent, and it's been really pretty good, with the exception of the first few games of the season. Their run defense has been good, and that will bring up a second down and about 10 yards.
Watch for number 10, Caleb Ellis, as he comes in, 6'4", 182-pound senior wide receiver. He looks like he's got some good speed. Now the timeout is being called by Mir. They just didn't have that play in properly, and so it'll be now second down and about 9 yards to go for a first down. Huddling up over at the sideline with Coach Humphers as the defense listening to instructions.
You know, I think one of the goals that this team has is to improve every week, and to take the areas in which they're struggling and to appreciate some improvement as a result of the work that they do every week. This Nevada Union squad is a squad that works very, very hard. They're in the weight room first thing in the morning. They're in practice by the time it gets dark in the evening. And I think that one of the things that the coaching staff feels is that they need to play with desperation. They need to play as if every game makes a big difference. And this Warrior team has the talent to stay with Nevada Union if Nevada Union allows them to. With 5:34 to play in the first quarter, 7-0 NU. The first quarter was seen as a key phase of the game. And so let's see what Nevada Union can do now on defense with a second down and about 9 from the 47 of Hiram Johnson.
Into shotgun formation is Mir. In motion is Terrell. Now it's a screen pass, and NU way on top of that one. Is coming up to break that up was number 55, David Sussberg.
And another nice play by Sussberg, Marty. He snuck on over there. They smelled out that screen on the play. He stayed with the receiver. They had the coverage to the right side of the Warriors line covered, and then when the screen came back to the left, Sussberg was right there. Had the reception been made, he probably would have been tackled for a loss.
Third down and 9 for the Warriors in motion. Terrell over the middle. Oh, it looks like it's intercepted. I think it is. Coming up with a play is Bo Castle intercepts that ball on the Nevada Union 42-yard line. So once again, good defensive stand by Nevada Union as they'll take over 1st and 10, and they'll spot the ball on their own 43. Coming into the game now is Ty Smith, their quarterback. Let's see what they start here.
And remember, one of the goals for the game was to create 4 turnovers. They already have 2 with 5:25 to play in the first quarter.
Going back to pass. Over the middle. Oh, he had his man Cartan just off his fingertips. Threw into triple coverage, but it was right on the market.
Let's take a look here at that pass and then the interception here by Bo Castles, who has had an excellent season for the Miners. Take a look at that play. Kind of a difficult catch right in between a couple of players. Great job there. Nevada Union now gets the turnover, and it'll be 2nd and 10 from their 43-yard line.
Smith now goes back, and he gives to Herrera around the right side. That's Ryan as he comes up and gets it all the way down to the 45-yard line. What was the name of that play again? You know that play.
That's the wraparound draw. And Herrera on that play, take a look at how he made that work. He just tap danced right through the Hiram Johnson defense, picks up 11 yards on the play. 1st and 10 in Warrior territory.
Going back to pass is Smith. He's got a man wide open, and it just overthrows him. That was too bad. That was Basso out in the flat that just overthrown.
Tough play there for Nathan Basso. He got out there deep and was open. Ball was not quite there for him, and that will bring up a that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Mike Strong in the game now. It's like a little mix-up out there. They're going to respot the ball. Strong in motion, going back out now on the, and it's a screen pass to McFadden out in the flat, and he just barrels over. That was Terrell Keys, 5'6", 148 pounds, just laid down in front of McFadden at 6'4", 285. No match there.
McFadden on that screen, a good run down the left side. Bring up about a 3rd and 4.
There's a handoff, and that's going nowhere. That looks like went to Potter, Chris Potter, I think. Yes, it was.
Potter on the carry for the Miners.
So both the Potter boys, both seniors, on senior night here. Both Chris and Doug have had excellent seasons, and I think that we might see a little bit more offensively from Chris tonight. In some of the games past, the Herreras have carried the ball mainly. Chris did have a nice screen for a touchdown last week, and I think that we're going to see a lot more from him. And Marty, they're lining up here for a school tying record, a 59-yard field goal attempt for Chris Ulinski. So 59 yards here. This would tie a school record.
They're not going to get the play out. They're going time called.
You know, it's about 58 and a half yards, so I think they would count this as a 58. A 58-yard would tie the school record. A 59-yard would break the school record.
They called timeout to discuss it. He's got the leg to be able to kick the ball that far, which we saw a couple weeks ago.
And there's Coach Humpers. Look at him. He is. I wish we could get. And there he is, talking right to Chris Ulinski. So I think that he was, asking Chris, okay, what do we have here? What can we do here? He looked at both Nick Cartan and Chris Ulinski. I think that there's a possibility that they're going to spot it at the 49-yard line. And there it is. I think he's going to put it there. There it is, right at the 49. So that would be a school-breaking record, a 59-yard field goal.
Let's see what happens here as a good snap and a good hold. What will be needed right here as Ulinski, there it is, gets his leg into it. Is it long enough? It's going to be just short by only about a couple of yards. Almost made that one.
You know, Marty, it's remarkable to think that would have been a 57-yard field goal.
Yeah.
From 59, about 2 yards short.
He just got under it just a little bit and got it a little bit higher than he needed to. Had that been more of on a line drive, it would have gone through.
Perfect though.
It was right
although the distance wasn't there, it was right. The accuracy was perfect.
That's as good as a punt into the end zone because it brings the ball out to the 20-yard line. It will be 1st and 10 for the Warriors as we've got 3:29 left to go in this first quarter. Meyer over center, going back to pass, and he's got his man out for about a 4-yard gain. That is Jeremy Jones, 6'1", 150-pound junior.
That'll bring up about a 2nd and 5 there for the Warriors. 7-0. Clock running towards the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. Nevada Union already having forced 2 turnovers.
There's a quick handoff. That's to Keys. He goes nowhere.
And another good play there by Jacob Moore. Jacob Moore in good pursuit over there. They actually lost a yard on that particular play, and Moore is already having a strong contest.
This will probably be a pass play for the Warriors, as this quarterback's got a strong arm, and if he gets enough time to pass, his receivers have got good speed, and let's see what happens. Two backs in the backfield. And now he's going to go deep. Could be intercepted, and I think it is, unless he was out of bounds. No, they're waving it out of bounds. Coming over forward to defense was Jacob Moore.
And another high-quality play there by Jacob Moore. Out there defending the pass well, in excellent position, and even though that forces a fourth down and probably a punt situation for Hiram Johnson, a good play there by Moore.
Nevada Union should get good field position as Brenly and JP are back to receive this punt. Let's see if Nevada Union puts a rush on the punter. Looks like they'll play for the run back. Although they come up on the line of scrimmage. Oh, they're going to fake it. They're coming around the right side, and they're not going to make it. Good heads-up play by Nevada Union, as that was big number 59, Andrew Jackson, one of the captains for tonight's game.
Marty, that would have worked had it not been for Jackson. Jackson smelled that play out, and very fast pursuit. Jackson, of course, a junior, a big guy, a tall guy. They're one of the most menacing people on Nevada Union's defense. In fact, one of the few players that goes both ways, plays both offense and defense. And so Nevada Union takes over on downs.
There's the inside handoff to Rich Herrera, and he goes through 2, 3, 4 guys and takes it on down, but I think the ground caused the fumble, and the referee does mention that as it gets down to the 5-yard line, and he's limping back. Going to pull himself out of the lineup as he is limping.
If you take a look at that tackle on that play, if we have it on replay, although they're back up there, it was a tough tackle.
There's the inside handoff again, and that looks like it could go close to the end zone. Let's see where they spot it. Looks like it's down to about the 1 foot line.
So Ryan carried that one. I'd like to see where Rich is.
He limped off the field. Here it is now, 2nd and goal. And the handoff right up the middle, and he goes in for the score, a touchdown, Nevada Union.
Ryan Herrera again on that particular play, although, wait a minute, I think there is a flag on the play.
Let's see what they're going to call. Referees coming out here to signal the illegal procedure against Nevada Union. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. That'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line, just a little past the 5-yard line. Another break for the Warriors.
And not only is that a break for them, but there's another 6 points off the board for Nevada Union.
So Ryan Herrera in the backfield, in motion. And there's the handoff to the inside, and that is Chris Potter takes it in for the touchdown as he goes over the left side on that inside handoff. And that's a touchdown, Nevada Union.
So although they get penalized the 5 yards, on the next play, Chris Potter takes it in. I look over on the sidelines and I see Rich Herrera over there. And Rich looks like he's walking okay. He's had a little bit of a ankle challenge throughout the course of the season. And although that might not have been an ankle, that was a tough tackle in which his legs were kind of scissored out from under him.
So Uliski is in to try for the extra point. There's a low snap, but he gets it up, and it is good. 14-0 with still here in the first quarter with 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go. I think Johnson is having a real tough time with this misdirection that Nevada Union is running.
Well,
hard to defend against, and they're just running right through them.
With that said, they're not in a class of their own. When the Herrera boys take the ball, it's very difficult to stop them. But with that said, Chris Potter's having an excellent game tonight, too.
Yeah, he is. Here's a replay of that touchdown, Jim.
And take a look again, the human shot put. There it is. Moves right forward there on that play.
The defense over pursued, and he just...
Excellent run there by Chris Potter. Just keeps driving right into the end zone for a touchdown there. And excellent play there by Chris Potter.
Ulinski now will be kicking off from the 40-yard line of Nevada Union. Two receivers deep to receive, but unless his leg gets tired, that's going to go into the end zone, and it's be brought out to the 20-yard line. So all the fans on the left-hand side to our left on the field are getting all the action tonight. People down on the right side of the field are not being able to see much tonight.
Well, the good news for them is there's only 1 minute and 15 seconds to play in the first quarter, and then maybe it will change sides there.
First and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Johnson comes out. Meyer back over center. Single back in the backfield. In motion is Tyrell Keys as he stopped right trying to cut up to the middle for a loss of about 1.5 yards.
You know, and I don't know what scouting Johnson did, but I think it's a big mistake for them to be running towards the left side of the Nevada Union defensive line. There's a tremendous amount of strength there that is anchored by Andrew Jackson, and that particular play came right at them, and for about a 0.5 yard loss on the play. Bring up a second down, and we'll call it 10.
In shotgun formation is Meyer as he gets ready to throw a pass. Now he rolls out, no place to go, and he slips and falls, and loss of about 5 yards on the play, because they just can't get anything going against this strong defense from Nevada Union.
And let's take a look at this. Here's that play. It's going to come right at you. 2 plays ago, coming right at the defensive line. And look at the penetration there by the Miners. Tries to change his position, but they're on the play. Really nice play there by number 55, David Sussberg, who's also having a great game. So I believe there's timeout on the field, and that will bring up a third down and about 13 on the play. And, you know, this was one of the things that was a part of their game plan, Marty. It was really felt that if Nevada Union could have a dominating first quarter, that would help them against a fairly decent team here in Hiram Johnson. And, you know, I think it would be safe to say that we've seen a pretty good dominating pattern by the Miners in this first quarter.
Yeah, speed and misdirection has been the big key so far on offense. Going against a much larger line. And Nevada Union has that. Seems like every game they play, they're smaller in size, but bigger in heart against the big linemen on the opposite side of the ball. So it's now third down and about 13 yards to go for a first down. They've got to come all the way out to the 20-yard line. 12 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
And this is a play where the Nevada Union defense really needs to bear down. On this 3rd and long, this is a play where they need to stop the Warriors.
You want to put some more time on the clock. 15 seconds, it looks like they're trying to tell them.
And now we've got 2 minutes and 97 seconds left. Oh, there we go. 27 seconds.
27.
Supposed to be 20.
They want 20 seconds on the clock,
and they've got it to 27. So there we go.
20.
Big third down play here for the Hiram Johnson Warriors.
Big rush by Nevada Union over the middle. Oh, good defensive play.
Jacob Moore again breaking it up nicely. Timed his hit at just the right time, and that'll cause a 4th down and what would appear to be a punt by the Warriors. And you know, Marty, if Nevada Union can stay out of penalty trouble, and if the ball can get into either Brindley or J.P. Beer Temple's hands, Nevada Union's return game has been great. And here's that pass. Take a look at how Moore times his hit here. Right over the middle, not too bad of a thrown ball, but Moore was right on top of him.
He's played a good game. That was a bad kick. It was going to be down on about the 33-yard line, where once again, Nevada Union will take over with good field position. Maybe that's why they were trying to deceive the Miners on that 4th and 8 on their previous time, because the kicker is struggling back there.
Well, it's one of two things. Either their kicking game is really struggling, or they're trying to keep the ball away from Beer Temple and Brindley.
Well, they're doing a good job when they only kick at 15 yards, and Beer Temple and Brindley are back about 50. This should be the last play of the first period. Going back to pass. And right over the middle, he's got McFadden. And Pete gets it all the way down to the 10-yard line.
So great run there by McFadden, and we're going to see him a little bit more dominant in the offense tonight. In the first quarter, he had 2 different receptions, and so that will take the ball down to about the 8-yard line, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter.
Right, don't forget to join us on NCTV Tuesday night, November 2nd, for the local Decision 2004. Tune in for your exclusive election night coverage from 8 to 11 p.m. as NCTV presents the most comprehensive election coverage in the foothills. Join us for all the latest results as we follow all the local races that you are interested in, from supervisor to the school board, and you can find it all on ACTV, as they'll be there to give NCTV, as they'll be there to give you the latest in all the results. We'll also have special live reports from the field as we go to the victory parties and hear from the winners and losers, along with panel discussions in the studio on all the propositions and issues facing us in this election. You'll even call in and make your own comments known. So remember, on election night, turn your TV to Foothill Leader in local television at 8 p.m. It's the place to be for Local Decision 2004 on NCTV Channel 11 in Grass Valley and Nevada City. Here's the first play from scrimmage as
that was actually, I know you didn't see it as you were reading the promo there, Marty, but Dave Humphers has got to be seething. On that last play to McFadden that went for good yardage, there was holding on the play against Nevada Union. That was actually the last play of the first quarter, and you know, we saw a much better pass defense in the first quarter, but they've still got some work to do on untimely penalties. Some big gains have been brought back because of the penalties that were against Nevada Union, and what that's going to mean is they're going to have about a second and I'm going to say about 18 yards to go as a result of that penalty. So what could have been a great gain by McFadden that would have taken them to 1st and goal at the 8 instead comes way back to about the 47-yard line, where it became a 2nd and 20-some.
Well, yeah, I definitely did miss that, because I looked up and I figured, why in the world were they back here when that play went all the way down by McFadden down to the 10-yard line?
Well, a quarter cannot end on a defensive on an offensive penalty. And so they had to run that one more play, and now the second quarter will commence.
It'll bring up 2nd down and almost 20 yards to go for a first down. They've got to go all the way on down to the 25-yard line. So a couple big penalties tonight, Jim, has made the difference in this game. Even though Nevada Union is leading by 14-0. They've kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit here with these penalties. Going back to pass now is Smith. He's got a man open in the flat, and that ball is completed. Basso again.
And great protection for Ty in that situation. In fact, Chris Potter stayed right there and was ready to block in that situation. Here's that hurry-up offense, 3rd and 7.
Going back to pass again is Smith, and he throws it out into the flat, and that's caught by Carrillo.
So there's that play on over to David Carrillo there, number 19 for Nevada Union. That's very close to a first down, but we're going to call it 4th and 1. And you know, Marty alluded to it a moment ago. You're right. If Nevada Union goes into Grant and Granite Bay and commits as many fouls in untimely situations as they did tonight, the consequences of that are going to be much more than they are against a Hiram Johnson team. That is a problem that, quite frankly, has to be cured before next week's contest.
Good observation there, Jim. And there's going to be offside unless they were drawn. Offside. Let's see what they're going to do. And they're turned around, so it might be against Nevada Union. Oh, it's offside. That'll be a first down. That was called against the Warriors. Probably a change in count at the line of scrimmage by Ty Smith. Coming back into the game is Basso. Cassell comes out.
And Smith leads him onto the field.
Rolling again is Smith, looking into the secondary, and then McFadden's got it.
Excellent catch there by Brendan McFadden. The ball was a little bit behind him, but yet he had the good sense of looking back, two-handed the ball, brought it down, and a nice game there. That should be a 1st and goal for Nevada Union on about the 7-yard line. So 1st and goal, Nevada Union leading 14-0, 10:18 to play in the first quarter.
Quick pass is going to go into the flat and come in. It's going to be intercepted in the end zone, and it is. By the safety had come over and took that ball right away from Nick Cartan. Yeah, that's and so that'll go as an interception. The ball will be brought out to the 20-yard line as once again Nevada Union's keeping this game, keeping the Warriors in the game by miscues. Here's a replay of that interception.
Here it is. Pass play there to Nick Cartan. Take a look. Smith comes back. Cartan is out there, but he's also well defended. He gets down there close to the ball, a little bit overthrown, and then intercepted there by the Warriors.
If that had been thrown to the outside, it might have been good for 6 points, but it was thrown to the inside, and the safety had a chance to come up and get it. But going nowhere again is Keys, and coming up to make that stop, David Sussberg. We've been calling his number a lot tonight, Joe.
Sussberg doing an excellent job of penetrating into that backfield, and if they run to the right side of the Miners line, they're going to run into Sussberg, and his penetration has been excellent so far.
Sussberg on the stop for the Miners.
And if you take a look at that situation there, Sussberg does a great job there from tackle and gets in on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down and 12.
In shotgun formation is Mirror, and he hands off. Oh my goodness, coming in to make the stop in the backfield, Andrew Moon. He came up and just threw him for about an 8-yard loss.
Andrew Moon almost untouched, penetrated right into that backfield, saw it coming his way, and lined himself up for a good hit, and that'll be a big loss of about 6 yards on the play against Hiram Johnson.
Boy, I tell you, he was in the backfield almost before the handoff was made.
And you know, Marty, we're seeing some great plays here defensively. Nevada Union has really stepped up their defense, and they've looked good in in many of these situations.
Another shotgun formation and big pass rush, and almost intercepted. As coming up for that was Brenly, and he just let's take a look at it.
Let's take a look here at this play. Now take a look on the left side of your screen, on the right side of your screen there, and here you see the penetration right back there. Excellent play, and then all by himself, Andrew Moon does a great job of making the tackle, and that'll bring up a 4th down and very long for Hiram Johnson, a punting situation.
They got the big rush on, and they almost got it. Good kick. Here they go with the reverse, and they fake it. Coming around the right side, he's got blockers. He could go all the way. He's down to the 15, to 10, 5, touchdown, Nevada Union, J.P. Beer Temple.
And that's exactly what we were talking about on that play.
So now they're going to call
and there's
penalty.
A flag on the play. That play will come back, and if it's the play that I think that they called it on, I don't know how the return team could have done it any differently. We'll have to take a look at the play, but no, it's against Hiram Johnson.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
So I think after the block was thrown, that's when the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty occurred there on the return, and it's a touchdown, Nevada Union.
Yeah, I hate to have all my excitement get called back on those 3 touchdown runs so far.
You know, Marty, you should have seen it last week. Every time that Nevada Union scored, the first thing that you did before you applauded was look out on the field to make sure that there wasn't a penalty.
Well, there was a. Here's a replay.
You know, and we talked to J.P. Beer Temple earlier this week. What a great return for him. He's been looking for a touchdown in those situations, and there he is. Look at the lane that he has there, and look at Nick Cartan there, number 11, coming on up, and look at who Nick has to block. Watch this.
Yeah. Oh, he just let him go.
Yeah.
That was the big lineman.
It's a good thing that he didn't get his hands on J.P. Might have broken him in half, Marty.
He was lumbering down there. Could never catch him.
Just
too much
don't
speed
let him catch you.
Yeah, right. Too much speed by Beer Temple. Now coming in is Jelinski. They'll probably assess that penalty on the kickoff.
I think they declined it because it was actually during the run. It wasn't after the play.
Oh, okay.
And Hiram Johnson takes a timeout. You know, and that's a little bit puzzling why they would take a timeout on the extra point there.
Maybe try to get some composure back, because that was an unnecessary penalty.
That leaves Hiram Johnson with 1 timeout remaining here in the first half. Nevada Union poised to extend the lead to 21-0 with 8:15 to play. And there you see the effects of a very good special teams between James Brindley and J.P. Beer Temple. Whenever the ball comes to them, you can always expect for there to be some excitement. And in fact, let's take another look at that particular return if we can here. There's Beer Temple with the ball. I think that's where the personal foul occurred, number 23 there. And here he comes down the right side. Good blocking, has a great lane.
Look at Cartan. He's staying away from him. He took the other guy.
I have always respected Nick's intelligence.
Yeah, that was looked like number 34, A.J. King, 5'6", 230 pounds, and
that's why they call him King.
That's right. Discretion was the better part of valor on Nick Cartan's part. Wow. Oh, that ball is blocked, and that's going to be no good. So that brings the score to 20-0 here with 8:15 left to go in the second quarter.
You know, let's talk about Nick Cartan just for a moment. Nick, of course, assuming a role as wide receiver tonight, filling in for Josh Noxon, and the experiment with Josh will play itself out next week against Grant. He's having a special brace that will be arriving this week. But, you know, Nick has missed a few balls tonight. However, let's put it this way. this is Nick playing wide receiver for the first time. And so he's got to get warm and he's got to get into a rhythm. And I would think that, especially with as intelligent a player as Nick Cartan is, we're going to see a different effort from him perhaps in the last 3 quarters of this contest, but definitely next week if he has to take that commanding role as wide receiver. Marty, it's going to be interesting to see how Josh Noxon does next week.
Well, if Nick is playing as well as he is right now, I would say that to be on the safe side, I know you need Noxon in the game, but you don't want to jeopardize that injury. They're going to try an onside kick here. It looks like they're going to, and it's going to be mishandled, but then fallen on by, that looks like number 20. Looks like a penalty flag going up in the air as Chris Farley
kind of mixed it up with Garrett Lee. Is that the same Chris Farley from Saturday night?
I don't think so. No. But a penalty flag did go up in the air, and let's see what they call.
There's a few guys on the field for Hiram Johnson that look like they could be
personal
Chris
foul
Farley.
against Nevada Union. That may be a payback for that unsportsmanship contest. It was.
It may also be a little bit of an angry of a Hiram Johnson team there, doing an onside kick, leading 20-0.
Yeah, right.
On behalf of the Lopez family.
And that will allow Hiram Johnson to have their best field position of the night, Marty.
Once again, the folks on the right side of the field are shortchanged again. But that's football. Let's see if Hiram Johnson can put something together here, as they've been struggling the last 3 possessions. There's a handoff. He runs into his own man in the backfield, and down he goes as someone didn't get the play right.
And, an excellent tackle there by Jim Gamble. One of the things, that Nevada Union has done much better tonight is penetration. They've gotten through the offensive line and into the backfield for Hiram Johnson, and they've had several tackles that have been big losses. This one in particular looks like it was about a 7-yard loss, and that will bring up a 2nd down and 17.
They've just continued to lose yardage on every play, so they've got what started out as looked pretty good in their first series of downs, but now they're really struggling. All right, going back to now, there's the handoff. Once again, it goes nowhere. Carrying the ball.
And he was hit high on that play by Kyle Morton, number 38 for Nevada Union.
That was Singh as he carried the ball over the left side.
And low there was Scott Baldwin, number 18.
So that brings up 3rd down and 20. Well, they've got shotgun formation there, and rolling out the pass. Got a man in the secondary who was hit before the ball got there, but no flag comes down. And it looks like the player is hurt, slow to get up.
And what we're seeing unfold here is exactly what Dave Humphers talked about prior to the game, having a big, dominating first quarter, something that they could not accomplish last week in Yuba City. And you kind of see a team in Hiram Johnson that's beginning to get a little bit demoralized.
Going back to receive is Beer Temple and Brentley. And let's see, they're going to kick to the outside, and they're going to stop that run back real quick, and that'll be, they'll mark it on about the 28-yard line of Nevada Union.
Well, that may be the safer play for Hiram Johnson.
So. Just kick it outside, and that you lose several yards, but now they're going to.
There's a penalty on the play.
Another penalty. They're talking to Hiram Johnson.
Flag out on the field.
Johnny Williams, one of the captains, is discussing it with the referees. Let's see what the call is. It's going against Nevada Union, and it's going to be roughing the kicker. That's not enough. That's only a 10-yard penalty. It's not enough to give them a first down, so it'll be still remain 4th and about 11 now. A good out-of-bounds kick will put Nevada Union deep in their own territory. I don't think they're going to kick after that last performance by number 5 and 8. No, let's see what's going to happen here. Good coverage this time. It's going to go out of bounds on about the 8-yard line.
So they pick up some additional yardage. A good kick there for Hiram Johnson. Not only did it not make it to JP Beer Temple, but it also rolled out of bounds there at about the 8. JP could not field it on the play as a result of that kick and where it was placed. And so now this will be a good opportunity for Nevada Union. Trapped deep in their territory. Let's see what they can do. It would be they're 89 yards from the end zone right now, 1st and 10.
Let's see, it's a handoff to Rich Herrera. Oh, he just saving touchdown on that was Terrell Keys came up and stopped that, or else Herrera would have gone 90 yards for a touchdown. He was right. He broke that one wide open.
That was the touchdown saving tackle.
There's a handoff to Ryan Herrera this time, but that ball goes, he goes nowhere as they come up to stop him. They can't bring him down, but he does maybe pick up a yard or two.
Ryan Herrera on the carry for the Niners.
That'll bring up 2nd and about 8 yards. That front line of Nevada Union is just opening up some big holes. In motion is Herrera, and now they throw it out, and that ball is dropped by Basso. Let's take a look at that.
Let's take a look here at Herrera's run there when the drive began. And you can take a look. He busts right up the middle, suddenly emerges, and there he is. And you see about one more opportunity there for the tackle. That'll bring up a big 3rd down and 7 on the play for the Nevada Union Miners.
Uh-oh, there's the illegal procedure, it looks like. Someone might have left a little bit early. Let's see what the referees call. If it is against Nevada Union, it'll set them back 5 yards. No, it's offside against Hiram Johnson. That'll make it now 3rd and about 3 yards to go for a first down.
A big break there for the Miners. That is much easier to attain a first down on 3rd and 3 than it would have been on 3rd and 8.
There's a option, and there's a penalty down, and first down was gained, but I think that's going to be called back on a hold, I believe. That just didn't look like it got going properly in the ever since the snap.
You know, and Ty Smith went down awkwardly on that play, and if you take a look at him there, a little bit hobbling towards the sidelines, and again Nevada Union takes a holding penalty, and instead of having a 3rd and 3, they'll have a 3rd down and long. 3rd and about 13.
So now it'll probably be a pass situation for the Miners.
Would be very interesting to see what the penalty yardage is for Nevada Union in the first half.
Well, they're going to have to hurry up and get this play off as R.C. Cameron comes out, and they're going to have to hurry up.
They've got Cartan out on the far side. Let's see if he picks to send it to Nick again. He's got Nick over the middle.
Plenty of time to throw the ball, and he overthrows Cartan as he stopped his route, and I don't think Smith saw that. You have to take a look at the chemistry and the timing just not there yet between Cartan and Smith. as that was just overthrown as Cartan kind of stopped his route.
You know, and I think that they're going to continue to go to Cartan in the second half because they've got to get him in a rhythm just in case Josh Noxon is not available.
There's the first punt of the game for Nevada Union, and that's see if it takes a Nevada Union bounce. It does. It goes on down to the 40-yard line where Hiram Johnson will take over on their own 40, 1st and 10, with 4:54 left to go in this second period.
So a nice 32-yard punt in that situation, and Hiram Johnson has at least had better field position here in the second quarter with 4:54 to play. Nevada Union leading 20-0.
Oh, that play is, whoa! He was just picked up and thrown back. Another loss.
And there's that eight-man pile that we were talking about. And David Sussberg, again, into the backfield, did an excellent job there of starting the play.
Boy, Sussberg has had quite a game tonight.
You know, again, the goals that Dave Humphers created for the game was 8 pile tips, which is 8 situations where 8 or more minors are involved in the tackle. And then number 2, a shutout. Number 3, create 4 turnovers. He's on track for almost all of those right now at this point with 4:15 to play in the second quarter.
Well, I know he's got to be disappointed in all the penalties so far by Nevada Union. Going back to pass is Meyer, and he rolls out. He's got a man right over the middle, but he throws to the wrong side of him, and that goes incomplete. That would have been a first down.
Let's take a look at the play a couple plays ago. You know, and let's take a look at this. Here, first off, good penetration there by Sussberg, but look at all of the minors coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here comes the 7th right there in the gang tackle situation. And that helps lead to a 3rd and 13 for the Warriors.
We're back to live action. 3rd down, shotgun formation for the Warriors. 3 wideouts on the right-hand side and over the middle, but it's completed for about 4 yards. Good defensive play by Andrew Moon. Andrew Moon's having a great game tonight.
Several defensive players are really having good games tonight, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 7, and it looks like Hiram Johnson will set up to punt and turn the ball over to Nevada Union. What a great opportunity it would be in this particular situation to see Beer Temple and James Brinley have an opportunity for a return. Let's see what happens in this situation.
Good snap, and they're going to kick it. And it comes over to Beer Temple, and now, and he takes it himself and gets about 3 yards. They tried to fake, but they faked it to the wrong side.
They faked each other out in that situation.
They ran into each other, and so that really threw it off as Beer Temple kept the ball and was brought down immediately on about the Nevada Union's 32.5-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 from there. Smith still in at quarterback. Rich Herrera in motion, rolling back the pass, and wide open is McFadden. Oh, and he is really hammered high by Keith Jackson. But McFadden's a real tough kid, and he gets up.
And special teams have been a specialty for Nevada Union, but take a look at this one here. See how they just about run into each other. J.P. Beer Temple keeps the ball in that situation, but has nowhere to go, and in fact has to backtrack there before finally being taken down.
So here we go back to live action, and there's they don't even know who has the ball.
Ryan Herrera.
Oh, man, he continues to grind it out for a first down. But I think what set that play up right there, Jim, was Chris Potter and his fake, because the entire secondary went after Chris like he had the ball, and it faked me out. I was watching him all the way, and then finally the secondary got off of Chris and went over and Got Herrera, but he'd already picked up a first down. Here's a rollout, and McFadden again, and he comes down on his knee, and I think he's hurting. Oh boy, he landed right down on his knee, and
Brennan has been hit hard in several situations tonight.
He landed right on his left knee,
and that was a hard hit on that play. And although he is enjoying probably his best game of the season tonight,
he immediately grabbed his knee when he came down because he was upended as the defense is just tackling him low. I mean, just falling down in front of him because they can't tackle him but with their arms, so they're just laying in front of him.
If you take a look at this particular play, I'm hoping that it won't be as serious as it appears because he took a helmet right there just below the knee, I believe. Gil, can you re-rack that one up again? Can we take a look at it? And I think maybe he took a blow more to the shin area than maybe he did to the knee.
That'd be a serious blow if he can't continue because he has had quite a game tonight, as you mentioned. And once he gets the ball in his hands, he's such a he's got good speed for a 6'4", 285-pound tight end. That he's a big asset to this offensive part of this game.
And for the first time this season, Marty, they have incorporated him very well into the offensive scheme. They've used him very creatively. And here, let's take a look at that particular play and see what we can see here. Here's the pass over the middle. And McFadden will receive the ball, take about one step. And let's take a look at where that hit is. Well, right in the knee area.
Yeah, he helmet right on the knee, and then he came down.
He almost came down awkwardly, too.
Yeah, right.
And immediately grabs for that left knee. Boy, that did not look like a good situation. Brennan is sitting up now.
That's good.
Brennan McFadden, one of the individuals who participated in our live program that you see every Wednesday night at 8:30 for those of you viewing us on our NCTV Channel 11 station among our network. Brennan and J.P. Beer Temple were our guests this past week. And let's take a look at this. Here it is, frame by frame. And take a look. There's the helmet right there. And look at how that bends that knee. Very slow in coming off, favoring that left knee. Can't really put any pressure on that left knee at all, and we'll have to see what treatment he receives. Looks like he's in quite a bit of pain in that situation.
Being helped off the field there as the...
And you know, although... And another penalty against Nevada Union. Although he is viewed as a good receiver for Nevada Union, Brennan is excellent in blocking, too. He's been called one of the best blocking tight ends in the Metro Conference.
There's a handoff up the middle for about 8 yards.
Ball carrier, never say that, Rich Herrera. Brings up second down.
And that will bring up about a 2nd down and 8 on the play for the Miners. They are at the 38-yard line of Hiram Johnson.
1:38 left to go in the first half. Rolling back the pass is Smith. He fires out into the flat to Potter, and Chris takes it for about 3 yards before he's knocked out of bounds. That'll bring up a 3rd down.
Clock is running with 1:19 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Nevada Union leading 20-0.
In motion is Rich Herrera. He gets the ball handed off to him. A lead block by big number 63.
Juvie Lopez.
Yeah, he led the way, and that goes for a first down as Rich Herrera continues to do some fine running here tonight.
And, you know, here was the sad part of that play. Juvie kind of cut to the right, and Herrera went to the left. So he gave up Juvie leading the way. He probably would have been better off if Hoovie would have...
Inside handoff to Potter. He's going to go over the right side. He does. 5, touchdown. Nevada Union on a great fake, great play, great run, and also some fine blocking by the right side of the Nevada Union line.
And, you know, Chris Potter is a really dedicated athlete, and that was a great run for him. I'm sure that pleases him greatly.
Well, he's been carrying out his fakes all night, and that time he just took that ball, and it looked like he was doing a fake with it, and everybody left him alone, and he opened the hole up, and away he went.
I'm sure there have been better runs by Chris Potter, but that was one of his best carries of the season.
Fine runner as he just went right through the secondary into the end zone for a quick 6 points. In is Jelinski, and a kick is up, and it is good. That makes the score 20. Here's the replay.
And here, let's take a look at that. Nice play here by Chris Potter. Look at how he follows his blocking. Gives right off to him there on the misdirecting. Look at the hole that opens up for him, and he merges right through it. Has one extra tackle to break right there, and he is in the end zone for a touchdown. I will tell you this too, Marty, about those Potter boys. Mr. Potter, Father Potter, whenever he sees me, he always says, "Hey, Jim, you got to mention those Potter boys." So,
well,
on senior night,
they're doing it all themselves, so they're no problem with that.
Double threat, both of those Potter boys. Chris is the one with the short hair. Doug is the one with the longer hair.
And you can say the same thing about the Herrera brothers. Rich with long hair and Ryan with the short hair.
There you go.
Going to be short of the end zone, so on the 1 yard line it'll bring it out. But the Miners stay right in their lane, and guess who that was? Huh? That was Dennis Royal came up and met him right there. Specialty teams staying in their lanes, making the plays.
You know, I'll say this about the Potter boys, too. My daughter attends Nevada Union, and the Potter boys are both excellent kids. They champion all of the students, and very approachable, very nice guys. Talk to everybody. Can't say enough nice things about them.
So the ball is placed on the 15-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Warriors, trailing 27-0 with 27 seconds left to go in the first half.
Have fun. Be good.
And with any luck at all, this could be the last play of the first half.
Now there's some discussion going on where they got to get the right
I guess they need
football
a football
in there.
And we get from downstairs that the early prognosis on Brendan McFadden is a deep shin bruise. So better to have a shin problem than a knee problem.
That's right. There's a pass going deep down the right sideline, almost intercepted. Coming over to defend on that play was James Brenly.
So with 21 seconds to play, Marty, we're going to fit a few more plays into this first half.
Well, they're going to stand back and throw the ball 35, 40 yards in the air. I think so. They're trying to get something on the scoreboard before this half ends. Just sending out some fly patterns down the sideline. As once again, the quarterback, Brian Meyer, goes back in Shotgun formation. Oh, there's a low snap, and it's going to be...
It'll be a safety.
Safety. It'll go right into the end zone, and unless they're going to down it... No, they're going to call it a safety. Nevada Union comes up with a safety.
29-0. And here's the neat part about that. Hiram Johnson has to kick off. So that'll make it 29-0 on that 2 points that they get.
So the ball will come out to the 20-yard line where the punter will have a free kick, as nothing's going right here for the Hiram Johnson Warriors. The ball was snapped low to the quarterback, who was in shotgun formation. It went right through his hands, and he did the smart thing. It looked like Nevada Union was going to fall on that ball. He kicked it out of the end zone.
With that said, Nevada Union has done a lot right. And here's an interesting play. I believe by rule that if this were a short kick and Nevada Union called for a fair catch on the kick, I believe that Chris Ulinski would be able to have a free kick from the point of the fair catch. So let's see what happens here. And it looks like they'll punt. They will punt in this situation. 16 seconds to play.
Let's see what they do. Good kick. It's going to be down to the 30-yard line. They're going to try this reverse again, and they fake it. And he's got the right side, and he's got a one-man to beat, and he gets by one. Now they come over and they get him. And he's still going to, but he's going to break away. But the clock is going to run out.
Unfortunately, Marty, there is a penalty on the play, a flag that was thrown early, and I believe that this again is going to be all. Well, wait a minute. Let's take a look. That may be against the Warriors. Let's take a look. Holding against Nevada Union. So a penalty again takes points off the scoreboard, because they definitely would have been able to line up for a field goal with 1 second to play in the first half.
Let's see where they're going to spot the ball. It's all.
And here, let's take a look at that safety. A bad snap. Nevada Union kind of had a chance there to recover the ball. Let's see. I think it got kicked. Look at that. See him kick it?
Yeah. Smart play. Heads-up play by the quarterback, because that would have been a touchdown, Nevada Union.
Yeah. So he kicks it at the back of the end zone for a 2-point play. Nevada Union now with 1 second to play in the first half. And there, you know, Marty, we're all the good that happened in the first half, the penalties again have killed them.
That's correct. And there's a handoff to Herrera, and he's making his way, sidestepping him. Goes around the left side, still on his feet. He's got blockers in front of him. He's got one man to beat, and he can go all the way. He's got to the 10, the 5, touchdown. Nevada Union.
What a run by Ryan Herrera.
Now there's a flag on the field down on the 10-yard line. Let's see what they call. My goodness, he went through all 11 players on the defense. Just worked his way, followed his blockers just perfectly.
Let's see what this call is.
Personal foul against Johnson. It'll be a touchdown. Now they'll come out for the extra point.
And that was a highlight reel run there by Herrera.
Sure was. That'll be in the can for the film festival, huh?
Marty, figure it this way. 20 seconds to play in the first half, and Nevada Union has now scored 8 points, has the chance for the 9th point
within 20 seconds. That's taking advantage of the clock. Coming into the game is R.C. Cameron. Band strikes up a rendition there for to cheer this team on, as they're putting on a real fine performance, with the exception of they're going for 2 over the right side, and just walking into the end zone is Rich Herrera. So the Herrera brothers once again generating highlight reel film.
And that will wrap up the first half for the Miners.
And we'd like to tell you that the This Nevada Union Miners Road to the Playoff is an exclusive telecast of Touchdown Productions and is being underwritten tonight by Liberty Motors and the new Liberty Motors in Auburn. Gary Alkenbrecht, GM Tom Rubino, and Auburn manager Val Vittigan have 2 locations to serve you in the foothills, and only Liberty Motors can offer you Motor Trend's first place SUV award of the year for the new 2004 Dodge Durango. Liberty Motors and Liberty Motors Auburn.
Hanson Brothers Construction and HB Rentals. Helen Orson and Jeff Hansen, along with Sue and Larry Peterson and Craig Arthur, are proud to be your friends and neighbors in Nevada County. And the Hansen family is proud to be a longtime supporter of youth sports and the Nevada Union Miners, Hanson Brothers Construction, and HB Rentals.
Mike Bratton, State Farm Insurance and Financial Services. State Farm agent Mike Bratton can help you with your home, auto, and life insurance needs. And now State Farm Investments can offer you many long-term financial investments for a secure future. Mike Bratton, State Farm Insurance and Financial Services.
Placer Title Company Chief Officer Larry Ingersoll reminds you that it's up to you which title company you work with when you purchase property. And Placer Title now has 2 locations to serve you in Grass Valley and Bear River and offers complete title and escrow service. Placer Title Company.
Paulette's Country Kitchen. At Paulette's Country Kitchen, they're serving up a hot country breakfast and lunch for you every day of the week. And you can order homemade pies to take home along with the daily lunch and special at Paulette's Country Kitchen.
Landcraft Landscape Construction, Homecraft Building and Design. Tony Barros and Brian Foster can provide you with all your home design needs. Tony specializes in creating custom outdoor living spaces, and Brian remodels your fine custom home. Landcraft Landscape Construction and Homecraft Building and Design.
Well, we're here at halftime. It's 37-0, and we'll be right back to bring you all the exciting third quarter action. Welcome back to Hooper Stadium for the kickoff here in the third quarter. Start this quarter, and it short kick has no help over there from
good old
Mike Strong.
That ball, and Mike had an opportunity there, Marty.
He had no help because that ball was kicked so short, and we need to have the sound. Thank you very much for that, Gil. As we start this third quarter with Nevada Union up on top by a score of 37-0. They've got the ball on their own 25-yard line, about 26-yard line, where they'll take it 1st and 10. And let's see if Hiram Johnson had any words of wisdom at halftime to be able to stop this high-powered Nevada Union offense. Going back to pass. And throwing it out, it's a pitch and go, and there it goes. That's to his brother going down the sideline, cuts to the inside, and takes it all the way down to the 22-yard line. That was the old
hook and ladder
play.
And the Potter boys hook up with a little bit of help from their friend Ty Smith for a huge gain to start the second half.
That was nice.
Well, they're Nevada Union's putting it all together tonight. They're showing no relief at all against this defense.
Well, you know,
for Hiram Johnson. There's a handoff to Ryan Herrera. No, that is Ryan. He's going to go into the end zone. They tried to arm tackle him.
That was Chris Potter.
No,
Chris Potter, 28 on that play, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was. Okay, I saw the 2-0, and from our angle here behind the glass, it was. I thought it was Herrera, but
it looks 28 there.
It was Potter.
Yeah. So Potter having a sensational game tonight. And, boy, great job for Chris. Chris is a great guy, great kid. Wanted to have a sensational game tonight, and Sure enough is.
Zielinski with the extra point. That is good. And that makes the score 44-0, as that took two. Let's take a look at that hook and ladder play.
The Potter boys hook up with Ty Smith on this particular play, and fortunately, look at, we've got it with Smith rolling back over in the left flat. Looked like it was going to be contained for a minimum game. Look at them converging, but there it is.
They probably rehearsed that in the living room, and look at him go.
Chris Potter down the sideline, another big game for him. Oh no, that isn't Doug. That's Doug Potter.
Yep. Chris received the pass, and then Doug took it on down the sideline for an additional big gain.
We may be here all night here, Marty, with 40 seconds into the second half. Nevada Union has scored again.
44-0 their score, as Nevada Union will kick off to Johnson. That means in order for Johnson to get back in this game, they're going to be putting the ball in the air, and so it could be these last 24 minutes could take us into past midnight. There's a squibber down the left side. It goes through the first man and picked up and breaking to the outside. Now cutting back, but once again Nevada Union stayed in their lanes and was able to stop that play from going anywhere.
There must be some moisture on the field
they're
because
slipping a little bit now.
Chris Zielinski really tripped on that kickoff, and that's why he had a much more difficult time getting that ball deep. But with that said, when he kicks it into the end zone, it comes out to the 20. On this particular kick, Hiram Johnson will set up shop at the 16. And they're trying to get the clock running there, but for some reason they have not started it.
Yeah, the referees want to get home early tonight too, as they get the clock to move.
Well, you got a 44-0 game, Marty.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well try to keep that clock moving.
So Meyer back, and he passes. Oh, almost in. Oh, could have been picked off in the flat. Good heads-up play by guess who?
Andrew Moon, number 21.
He is all over that field tonight. He's playing a whale of a defensive ball game.
The Miners were challenged prior to this game to play the entire contest with really good intensity. And you got to admit, on almost every series where they've come forth, they have been extremely intense on playing this game, and it has led to their dominance tonight.
Well, we've got a new quarterback in there now. It's Warren Price. He's got an arm. That's going to be intercepted by Jacob Moore, and he's going down the sideline. He's at the 5, into the end zone for a touchdown. Nevada Union, but a flag on the field again at the 10-yard line.
This may be against Hiram. No, block below the waist by Nevada Union.
Just continue to make these mistakes on these big touchdown plays.
So a post-possession foul in this play. So Nevada Union will take over 1st and 10 from probably about the 20-yard line. Let's see where they mark.
It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and it'll be brought out to
back to the 23. Now, there had to have been a pretty pronounced foul on this play because 2 flags came in on the end of it here. Really nice interception here. And again, an excellent game is being turned in there by Jacob Moore. Moore intercepts the ball, and we probably will not see it, but the flags came in there at almost exactly the same time. There he is sprinting down the sideline, and exactly what Dave Humpers had talked about, another 2 or 3 touchdowns tonight that have been called back by penalty, at least big gains.
Need to have the sound fixed again. There we go, over the left side, and that is... And another penalty comes in. Referee's going to keep this score close at this rate. And it's a holding call, looks like, against Nevada Union.
Well, Marty and I were talking at halftime, and if there's one thing that, not that this is a recurring theme, there's one thing that Nevada Union needs to really clean up, it's the penalties in this contest. They're well on their way to perhaps eclipsing the 95 yards that they had in penalties last week against Yuba City. And a good team cannot continue to shoot themselves in the foot with big penalties.
So Smith now hands it off to Rich Herrera over the left side, goes to the outside, puts a move on one man. He's got one man to beat. He gets down to the 3-yard line and is run out of bounds. Nice move in there as he cut to the outside, had a couple blockers in front of him. And the next thing you know, he's down to they're going to mark it on about the 3-yard line where it'll be 1st and goal again.
The Miners already up 44-0 with 9:10 to play in the third quarter.
Let's go, put it in.
And there's the handoff to Herrera, Rich, and he gets thrown for a loss back to the 5-yard line. In on that tackle for Johnson was Stephen Sperry, made the play. That's the first time tonight that any running back has been thrown for a loss, as Sperry came up and forced that short loss, so it'll be 2nd and goal now. There's a handoff again as he drags Sperry again down to about the 1.5-yard line.
Let's give you an update on Brennan McFadden. You saw him go out in the closing moments of the second quarter. Brennan suffered an injury to his shin. Fortunately, it was not his knee. He is not going to return to the contest tonight. However, is listed as highly probable for the contest next week against Grant. So, although we may lose him in this game, he should be back next week against Grant.
Same formation as the previous play. And there's a handoff to Herrera, and he just walks into the end zone as Rich Herrera picks up the touchdown. And once again, touchdown Nevada Union.
We're up to 50-0, 7:49 to play in the third quarter. And Marty, it almost seems like if Nevada Union maintains this intensity through the balance of the contest, it could be 80-0. And some of the fans, with it being a little bit of a late hour, this game is going on a little bit later than they might have anticipated. 10 o'clock here, Pacific time, and some of the fans are starting to leave.
There's the attempted extra point, and it looks like it's up and good. 51-0 is your score. The quarterback for Johnson that came in and threw that long the intercepted pass, number 17, Warren Price, he is on the sideline talking to the trainer, and he's got himself, his left arm is hurting a little bit, so he may not be back into the game. He got his chance to start the second half, and he ended up throwing a couple incomplete passes. One was intercepted, but he's got a strong arm, and he's out. Looks like he'll be out of the game.
You know, you kind of have to wonder at what point the officials are going to just allow this clock to run, because we've got a long ways to go yet. We've got 7:49 to play in the third quarter. We've got all of the fourth quarter.
Well, I think it's about time for Coach Humphers to call off the dogs and just start running the ball. Of course, they've got to treat this game like any other game. They got to work on all the plays they need to work on.
And I think they're looking at it as a tune-up for the next 2 weeks.
There's a short kick. It'll be taken at the 5-yard line and going up the left side for about 10 yards. Taken out the 25-yard line would be 1st and 10 for Johnson.
And let's take a look at the Herrera run that capped the previous drive. Ty Smith comes back, hands on off, and look at him find a hole. Rich Herrera does a great job in this situation and finds his way.
There's a nice move. He just put on the back there and forced them out of bounds.
In fact, this is the one that got them down to about the 2-yard line there. So another great run there by Rich Herrera.
Well, Price is back in the ball game for Johnson goes into shotgun formation, looking to pass, throws it out in the flat, and just overthrows his receiver, and he gets good pass rush by Nevada Union. He gets knocked down to the ground as he threw that ball.
Bo Castle, number 3. Bo's going both ways in the game. Bo plays on offense, and he's also had a strong game last week on defense and is following that up with another good contest today.
Chad Footer's in the game for Nevada Union.
They're trying to run the clock, but the people up here don't see it.
And another pass, and that is caught by Singh as he takes the ball out to the 40-yard line for a first down.
They're not even stopping the clock to reset the ball now. Coming down on the 6.5-minute mark here.
I think the referees can figure out, and there's no sense humiliating the other team as this game has gotten out of hand here. So,
and I think that's why they tried to, on the previous play, they tried to start the clock on the incomplete pass.
So back in passing formation is Price, and he looks it over, and he throws one. Oh, he just overthrows his receiver. That is Jose Durante.
And here is the run that punctuated the previous drive. Once again,
look at the opening.
Rich Herrera dancing into the end zone for a touchdown.
Great block by the right side of the Nevada Union line. I couldn't tell exactly who that was. It looked like R.C. Cameron on one of the lead blocks. There's your score, 51-0 here in the third period. It's 2nd and 10. Price back to pass. He's got his man out in the flat, and he's going to get a first down. He's still on his feet. He's at the 40, and he's being brought down by Garrett Lee, who's had a good game tonight. Good touchdown-saving tackle right there as the ball gets spotted on Nevada Union's 39.5-yard line.
And I'm sure that one of the things that the coaching staff wants to focus on is a consistent effort here in the second half. One of the goals that they had prior to this contest was to have good tackling. That play there wasn't especially good tackling on it, but they're being stressed to continue to focus for the whole 48 minutes of the contest, and that'll bring up a 1st and 10 here from Hiram Johnson at Nevada Union's 40-yard line.
There's in motion. The ball is fumbled. It's going to be picked up by Nevada Union, and on the ball, on that handoff, that was none other than Andrew Moon again.
And there it is, and another turnover there. One of the goals was to create 4 turnovers here in the game.
They've done that.
They have. The second goal was to have a shutout. So far, so good on that one. And the third one was to have excellent gang tackling, 8-man tackles. And that happened too. And here, this was just kind of a botched handoff.
It was.
You take a look, it gets right there. He never really gets control of it. And Andrew Moon comes on in and makes the recovery. And they've started the clock here.
Let's see if Nevada Union keeps the ball on the ground. And there's a handoff. And going nowhere as they've come up to stop him, and that is Mike Strong for the first time tonight, thrown for a big loss.
About 2nd down and 18, 2nd down and 17 on the play.
So it looks like Martin is going to be the quarterback.
And Ty Smith is coming out of the game. But you know, Marty, it's probably a good idea. Get some of the other players in there.
There's that inside handoff over the right side. The ball carrier was Carrillo. Over the right side, picked up a couple of yards. Cartan's working double duty tonight with as a receiver, and now he's back in at quarterback.
Well, I guess they're, you know, it would be doubtful if Nevada Union's going to continue to throw the ball. So
there's that option play. Cartan's got it.
And
He's
look
going
at
to carry
Nick
it. He's only got one man to beat. He's down to the 25, down to the 20, down to the 19-yard line. That ball will be placed as that's a big first down, and almost went all the way as Nick Cartan on that rollout and option pitch.
And
kept it himself.
Nick Cartan, with such a strong work ethic and an individual who really believes in this team and works hard in preparation for every game, that was a great gain by Nick. Let's take a look at that if we can see a replay of that. And look at how he reads it here, Marty. Great job by Nick. Nick has the option of pitching it behind him, but instead, you know, he sees the opening there. He's not content with just earning the first down. Look at him move. Look at him read his blocks in that situation. And even when they come on in to tackle him, he keeps the legs going almost like a running back. Look at him straight arming there, continuing to gain yardage. And finally, grabbing his jersey, they bring him down.
That was and that extra 20 yards was set up by a fine block by Sean Johnson, leading the way for Nick. There's that inside handoff again, right up the middle, breaking away and going down in for the touchdown, Nevada Union. Guess who that was? Doug Potter.
The Potter family is rising to the occasion tonight.
They're chalking up the points.
This is definitely a game tape that Mr. Potter's going to want to get.
I absolutely think so.
He will watch this one for years. Both sons scoring touchdowns. The hook and ladder family play. They probably dreamed of doing that for many years, and here it became a reality tonight.
Kick is up, and it looks like it is no good. Off to the left. Kind of rushed that a little bit, but they'll have a lot to talk about over dinner tomorrow night.
Wouldn't you like to be in that household?
Oh, I certainly would, to be able to hear what they have to say about their performance tonight. That makes the score 57-0 as Nevada Union continues to roll up the points here in this third period. We've got 2 minutes and 24 seconds left as the crowd decides to head on home. They've seen just about enough of their local favorite team. Just grind out the yardage. I mean, they've got to be close to 400 total yards tonight when this is all going to be said and done. I mean, every play they run on there is, I think they've only lost 3 plays have lost yardage tonight, I believe.
Well, I guess this has now dissolved into a tune-up for next week against Grant. And the Miners, who are always ranked in the top 10 in the Sacramento area, may pick up some ground as a result of this overwhelming performance tonight.
Yeah, the kickoff is short again and taken at the 15-yard line. Bringing the ball up the field is Kimbrough, as he is brought down on about the 22-yard line.
Grant, in a previous game, Grant beat Hiram Johnson 65-6. And let's see if we can pull up a replay. Here is that last scoring play. And you can see Potter there with the ball breaking right on up the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown.
I don't think anybody laid a hand on him, did they?
Well, Johnson's got to be a fairly demoralized squad by this point in time to keep the clock rolling here. They should right through the fourth quarter.
Price back in shotgun formation, looking for a pass. That ball's hiked over his head. He's going to fall on it. Smart play back at the 9-yard line, as he had no chance on that, as that ball went over his head. Bad snap. That'll take the ball. That'll be a loss of about 15-yard, no, almost 20-yard loss, all the way back to the 9-yard line, where it'll be second and forever.
Wow.
Oh, once again, Price is back in shotgun formation, 2 wide outs, and going down the left side, and the receiver falls down. That would have been a first down had he caught that ball. That was to Jones. He kind of got turned around, and then the dewy turf kind of slipped a little bit and fell down before the ball got there. Coming into the game,
55 seconds to play here in the third period.
Dennis Royal comes into the game for Nevada Union. Got some new players in there. Matt Roberts.
Third and, I'd have to say, close to 30 yards.
Nick Sawyer back in the defensive backfield. Price is over center, in motion now. One of the wide receivers. There's a handoff over the left side. That's going to go for a loss back to the 2-yard line. As no matter what players come in for Nevada Union, as they bring in an entirely new defensive unit. As we were just pointing out, some of the new players that have come into the game on the line of scrimmage and in the backfield.
Johnson sets up to punt. He's not going to have a lot of room in the back of the end zone. It will be interesting to see what happens in this situation. One thing that Nevada Union has not done tonight is block a punt, and instead he's going to throw a pass.
Oh, and that's going to be, they're going to have Nevada Union's going to have the ball on the 1-yard line, and that'll be an easy 7 points for Nevada. I don't know what they were thinking about as far as, did they know what down it was? So Nevada Union will take over on their, so it looks like Johnson has thrown in the towel here. They just want to get the game over with. 5 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
And let's see if they'll start the clock there. No, does not. So we'll have one more play, and we'll see if they can break the 60 mark by the end of the third quarter.
Now there's a penalty, as somebody might have left a little bit early. Looks like it's going to be against Nevada Union. Illegal procedure by Nevada Union. And it's declined. I don't understand that. I guess it'll be, they want the down, but I would think 5 yards would have been helpful. Cartan over center. There's a handoff to Dennis Royal, and it looks like he goes in for a touchdown. Nevada Union. Dennis Royal on the carry. 3-yard run into the end zone, and that'll be another 6 points, 63-0 right now, as this game has really gotten out of hand. As coming in to attempt the extra point. Looks like we got
Dante Punteri in for the extra point. Yep, Dante Punteri in.
Let's see what the snap. High snap. It's down, it's up, it's kicked, and it looks good. It is 64-0 here as Nevada Union takes a commanding lead. And that should end the third quarter, and it does. And we'd like to remind you that the Nevada Union Miners Road to the Playoff is an exclusive telecast of Touchdown Productions and is underwritten tonight by Top This Truck and Auto Accessories. Chuck Cavro says, don't let your truck go topless this winter. Top This carries a selection of camper shells and tonneau covers for snug top custom painted to match your truck's color with lifetime warranty. Top This Truck and Auto Accessories.
And Arches Automotive Service and Smog Check Third-generation owner Brendan Brooks and ASC certified mechanic Kevin Maltese specialize in complete automotive service from tune-ups to brake repair, and the Smog Check is open 6 days a week for your convenience. Arches Automotive Service and Smog Check.
Taylor Heavy Hauling, Richard, Sheila, and Dusty Taylor specialize in heavy hauling. With 35 Taylor Heavy Hauling trucks, they can handle any transportation need, and the Taylor family love to support Placer Hillman Sports. Taylor Heavy Hauling.
Plaza Tire and Auto Service. The Hauser family is proud to support NU football, and Mark Hauser is happy to once again donate his time as the auctioneer of the upcoming Big Brothers Big Sisters wine tasting and auction on November 20th at the Miners Foundry, Plaza Tire and Auto Service.
And by the House of Print and Copy, Patty Free is now the one to see at the House of Print and Copy, the copy store that thinks it's a print shop. Christmas time is almost upon us, and the House of Print and Copy can design custom Christmas calendars for you or your business. The House of Print and Copy.
Walker's Office Supplies, owned and operated by the Anderson family. Walker's Office Supply specializes in a selection of office products and furniture to support your home and business, and the Anderson family loves to support Bear River and NU Sports. Walker's Office Supply.
And by Touchdown Productions, championship television for the Foothills since 1997, and underwritten by our local businesses and presented free to the community each week throughout our Foothill network of stations. ACTV Channel 20 in Auburn, USA Media Channel 23 in Colfax, Alta Sierra, and Lake of the Pines, and NCTV Channel 11 Grass Valley, Nevada City, and our newest station at Lake of the Pines is Channel 7 at Bear River. Thank you for choosing us tonight as part of your family's entertainment. Don't forget, Nevada Union Miners take on the Grant Pacers next week. You'll be able to see it on ACTV Channel 20, USA Media Channel 23, NCTV Channel 11, and at Lake of the Pines, it's Channel 7. Look for the big matchup between Nevada Union Miners and Grant Pacers.
2nd and 4 here.
Price looking to, as a man open, way out into in between three defensive players. Going up for it is big number 10, Caleb Ellis, 6'4", 153-pound junior. He makes that catch for a first down.
And the clock continues to run with 9 minutes and 45 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. 64-0.
Price is back in shotgun formation. 2 wideouts. And let's see, a big rush, and going out into the flat with that on that short screen pass is A.J. King, 30-pound
and it
running back, and it took several Miners to bring him down.
It took a while. Clock continues to run.
And that takes the ball out to the 49-yard line of Johnson, and they've got a replay on that.
And there he is. Take a look. Number 34 takes it out there in the flat, and boom. Keeps moving. That definitely took a gang tackle.
There was a rollout by Price as he yells at the intended receiver. That was Darren Garcia.
And even on the incomplete pass there, they keep the clock running. 64-0.
Think there's any hope that they'll come back in this game with 8 minutes left? What are the odds?
Well, Marty, I would say that it is about as long a shot as you could possibly have.
Back to pass again. Is Price. He's got a man coming over for it. It's going to be intercepted. Boy, good timing. And that was Dominic Archuleta in the game, and the secondary timed that perfectly, stepped in front of the receiver as Price looked at that receiver and that receiver only, and Archuleta stayed on top, watched the quarterback's eyes, and just cut right in front of there and made the reception.
And Nick Cartan back in at quarterback here. Let's see what Nevada Union can do from their own 32-yard line.
There's a handoff to Carrillo, and he breaks it out, and he could go all the way. He's at the 30, the 20, the 15, the 5. Touchdown, Nevada Union. What a run on that great play by David Carrillo, the junior, 5'9", 150-pound speedster, as he just broke to the outside, took it all the way.
And so that makes it 70-0. And in fact, even in this situation, the officials are trying to keep the clock going. 7:07 to play. 70-0. Nevada Union in for the conversion. And Dante Punteri comes in to add the 71st point.
And that was all set up by that big interception by Dominic Archuleta, as he intercepted that pass, first play from scrimmage, on the handoff to David Carrillo, and here's that interception, and maybe we can see the...
Maybe we can get a doubleheader here. Here's the interception, and then maybe you can see the run. Excellent positioning here. Steps right in front of him. Look at the positioning here, and goes ahead and takes the interception. Immediately tackled. And then on the next ensuing play, Carrillo runs for a touchdown. So 71-0, coming up on the 6-minute mark.
Look at that. Looks like lotto numbers being shown there for Nevada Union. 14, 22, 27, 7. There's a short kickoff.
Dante Punteri kicks off. Johnson picks it up. Tries to head towards the sidelines. Maybe we'll get upfield a little.
That's Mohammed. He could go all the way. He's only got one man to beat, coming down to try to catch him, and not going to do it. He's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Hiram Johnson, and that looked like Kevin Mohammed.
So a big kick return there for Kevin Mohammed makes it 71-6. And in the closing moments of this contest, with 5 minutes and 10 seconds to play, Hiram Johnson has spoiled the shutout, but good for them. That has got to be a little bit of a boost for them. 71-6 with 5 minutes to play.
Boy, he took that ball on the dead run, broke to the outside, and then just outran the last, I think that was the kicker that he just outran.
Dante Punteri.
And he ended up not being able to catch him as he turned on the afterburners and scooted down the right sideline for the big 6 points. Now they're going to go for 2 points right here.
Make the game a little closer.
Oh, yeah, sure did. 71-6. They could make it. Now they're going to go for 2, and they're going to have to hurry up here or they're going to get penalized. Yep, now they're going to call for delay of game.
No, they took a timeout.
Well, they did. Okay.
And the clock stops with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the contest. And let's take a look at, here it is. Excellent return. Mohammed comes up with it. And take a look at what he does here. He takes the ball immediately, cuts to his right. Well, as soon as he gets it, kind of muffed on the play. But there as he picks it up, look at him head to the right, and he's got a lane.
Goes to the outside, and
Nevada Union's coverage a little bit lacking there. Good opportunity by Matt Roberts to make the tackle, but Roberts misses it too.
There was a clip right there, but they didn't call it. They're going to let it go. And now here comes, looks like that was, I can't tell, can't see the number, but he outran him.
48.
Oh, yeah, that was Ostrowski came over there.
A.J. Ostrowski.
And couldn't get him. But there he took it in as he high-stepped it into the end zone for 6 points. And now
the conversion fails, so with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play, 71-6, Nevada Union. Well, Marty, what time is the golf game tomorrow morning?
Well, it's a tee off at 8:30. It all depends on what the weather is going to be. We've got cloud cover coming in here. It's not supposed to rain hard until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. A light rain is not bad. I can handle that.
How does the ball drive in a light rain, Marty?
When you hit it as far as I do, it doesn't make any difference, right?
Kind of like an onside kick. Is that it?
That's it. Yeah, I've hit a few of those in my time.
So have I. But nobody has hit as many little tiny hits as Executive Director Gil Dominguez.
Yeah. We won't.
In fact, there were a couple of Gils. I think they went backwards, Marty.
Sideways. There's the onside kick, and it looked like I think Nevada Union did recover it as they played a little heads up right there. And let's see, yeah, Nevada Union is coming up with the ball. Tried the onside kick.
And the clock is running.
That's the mercy clock going right now, coming in.
Well, and there's no use in continuing with the score the way that it is.
Mike Apple has come into the game. And we've got Dan Ferguson in the lineup, in motion. And Cartan hands it to the first back through right up the middle. Carrying the ball for Nevada Union was Dennis Royal.
So Royal takes it for a gain of about 4. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. 3 minutes to play now in the contest. 71-6, Nevada Union.
There's a handoff over the left side to Potter. And now he goes down on one knee as he slips, as he made his cut down to the 35-yard line. 2:41 left. Doug Potter on the carry.
And this should be a senior night that they'll never forget, for those seniors to be able to participate in a contest where they obviously dominated Hiram Johnson. It'll be interesting to see many of the statistics tomorrow and see what kind of the yardage was. 2:12 to play in this contest. Nick Cartan over center. And he
takes
a knee and kneels it down. So Nevada Union content with a 71-6 victory.
Unless they're going to try to set up a field goal attempt. This would be a good time to try to do that. But I think they're just going to be content to run the clock out.
I'm looking at Chris Ulinski on the sidelines, and maybe they're going to try one other one. Who knows?
Yeah,
it takes another down.
And it'll be 3rd down, 1:31 left.
How much time is spending over there in Thunder Valley? That's how much time is spending over there.
The second half has really flown by, especially with them running the clock the way
right,
that they have.
That's correct. He'll take a knee one more time, and he does. And with 1:07 left, they'll go ahead and take one more knee. It'll be 4th down, and this is not helping the stats any as they've lost 4 yards taking knees.
Well, Marty, what do you want him? Do you want him to throw over the middle?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Maybe a deep pass?
And
see if they could hit 80. They're only 9 points from 80.
Maybe they can hand the ball to Potter and see what happens, huh?
Bring the Herrera brothers back in.
No, they're taking a nap down on the bench. That'll be the ball will go over on downs with 29 seconds left to go in the game. They'll have one more. The offense will have one more shot at it. The timeout is called as a change of possession take place.
And I think Hiram Johnson wants one more.
They'll have one more shot at it.
Well, if they throw an incompletion, will they keep the clock? Well, you'd think that they would at this point in the contest.
Nick Sawyer's in the game for Nevada Union. Also Scott Baldwin. As a host of New Jerseys come in. Jim Gamble's in the game. Also Matt Roberts. Let's see what the last play of this game is going to do as Price goes back into shotgun formation. 2 wideouts. Oh, high snap. He's looking, he dumps it off to his running back, and he'll take it in for a first down, and the clock continues to run. Now a timeout is called.
Well, I think that they're going to let them, there's a player that's
the quarterback.
injured. No, he's back on up.
He got.
And they should start the clock here.
They got a chance for one more play, and they'll try to get it into
that's exactly what they want.
Now the clock is starting to run. We got 6 seconds, 5. They better snap the ball, and they do. They get one play out of this, and they throw it. And he breaks away. He's down to the 20. He could go, take it in. Oh, he's going to get saved down at the 5-yard line. Coming over to make that stop was Chad Cooter, as that ends the game.
So Nevada Union makes a good showing tonight as a tune-up against at least initially a spirited Hiram Johnson team.
Started out very, very well for them in the beginning, but they made a couple first downs, and then the next thing you know, the roof caved in, and Nevada Union took over.
And that, that's exactly what the coaching staff is talking about, having a big first quarter, and by halftime having a big 2 quarters really took the steam out of Hiram Johnson. They never recovered, never were able to get back into the game. And there you see our final tally, 71-6. Look at the second quarter, 22 points, and the third quarter, 27 points. So 49 points scored in the second and the third quarter, sandwiched by 14 in the first, 7 in the fourth. Final 71-6 with Hiram Johnson scoring 1 touchdown and failing to convert there in the fourth quarter. So a good effort. The Miners definitely have a few other things to work on, but the running game was good. The pass defense was good tonight. The run defense was good tonight. It'll be interesting to see what the yardage was. The passing game was really very good too. So for Nevada Union, I think mission accomplished.
With the exception of the penalties.
Yeah, the one thing that they're going to have to work on between this week and next week is the penalties. Because if they go into Grant, or if they go into Granite Bay, and they incur that many penalties in crucial situations, it's going to be very difficult for them to win those games. Good on turnovers tonight. Nevada Union, I don't think turned the ball over, and I think that they had 4 or 5 turnovers. Hiram Johnson did that Nevada Union took away from him.
Let me tell you one thing here. You want to know what kind of night it was tonight for the Nevada Union football teams?
Sure, Marty.
The JV came out on top 56-8. The varsity comes out 71-6. If I do the math, it's 127 points scored by Nevada Union against 14 for the visiting Warriors in both of these games, and I would say that was a blowout at both ends of the diamond. Because this was a diamond in the rough game tonight. As a good tune-up for Nevada Union. Like you had mentioned, they've got to bring their A game next week against Grant, and we'll be there to give you all the play-by-play action.
And I can promise you it'll be a different contest than what we saw tonight. There will be a lot of intensity there at Grant, and playing on Grant's home turf will be a little bit difficult, and so that'll be a good contest, a good matchup for Nevada Union.
And I looked at the long-term weather forecast for next week, and Friday and Saturday are supposed to be good weather, so we may be able to get a game in there without a muddy and soggy field like we've had in the past down there at Grant.
We remember that game 2 years ago that Nevada Union won on the next to the last play of the game on a seemingly impossible 40-yard plus field goal, and then last year again in the closing seconds on an incredible play that involved Stephen Davis. So Grant is going to be laying for Nevada Union. Nevada Union will have a strong week of preparation for that particular contest. As we close out tonight's contest, we definitely look forward to next week. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And
all smiles down on the field as Nevada Union knows that they played a good game tonight. I wouldn't say an A game, but the only thing they have to work on are the penalties. And we just got inundated here by some of the players as they're up for their interviews. However, we'd like to tell you that the Foothill Game of the Week, the Nevada Union Miners Road to the Playoff, is an exclusive telecast of Touchdown Production and has been underwritten tonight by Liberty Motors. Gary Alkenbrack hopes you've enjoyed tonight's annual Senior Night telecast.
Hanson Brothers Construction and HB Rentals. The Hanson family congratulates all the NU players and coaches.
Mike Bratton, State Farm Insurance. Robin and Mike Bratton are proud of the traditions established at NU Miner football.
Placer Title Company. Larry Ingersoll is proud to underwrite televised high school sports for the Foothills.
Paulette's Country Kitchen. Paulette and John are proud of their son Bo Castle and all the NU Miners.
Landcraft Landscape Service and Home Craft Building and Design. Tony Barros is proud to be this year's NU Football Booster Club President.
Top This Truck and Auto Accessories. The Cavros family are huge NU football supporters.
Arches Automotive Service and Smog Check. The Brooks family has a long NU football tradition.
Taylor Heavy Hauling. Richard, Sheila, and Dusty Taylor support high school sports in the Foothills community.
Plaza Tire and Auto Service. Mark Hauser loves to donate his time to the NU football program and the community.
The House of Print and Copy, Patty Free, is a proud NU alumni mom and loves her miners.
And Walker's Office Supplies. The Anderson family is happy to support our local football teams.
And by Touchdown Productions, championship television for the Foothills. Join us next week as we travel to Grant High School for the annual battle between the Nevada Union Miners and the Grant Pacers. Nevada Union is undefeated in league play, and the Grant Pacers have one loss against Granite Bay. So the stage is now set for another great Metro League showdown between these two perennial rivals. So remember, it's the game of the week everyone has been waiting for. Nevada Union versus Grant next time on your Foothill Game of the Week. Our expanding Foothill network of stations, it's ACTV Channel 20 in Auburn, USA Media Channel 23 in Colfax and Bear River, NCTV Channel 11 in Grass Valley, Nevada City, and our newest station, Lake of the Pines, Channel 7 in Bear River. Well, big game tonight, 71-6. What can we say? A good tune-up for next week, and let's hope that they can put it all together and bring this same intensity and minus all of the penalties, and we'll have a successful game next week.
You know, Marty, Nevada Union just got it done. Most of the out points that they had in the previous weeks, they got taken care of. They polished them up, and the running game was tremendous. The passing game was good. They really accomplished what they needed to at will. However, with that said, they're going to have to step it up a notch between this week and next week. Grant has already lost once this season. Yeah, so have the Miners, but going into next week's game, Grant is going to want to seek some revenge for the last, not just one season, but for the last 2 seasons of games that they believed that they had won that were snatched away from them at the last moment. So a big game for Nevada Union, a huge game for Grant.
Now you got to remember about Grant is that they've got one loss, all right, but that they have one league loss. Nevada Union is 4-0, and so they can't. Grant cannot afford a league loss against Nevada Union next week. So that
great showdown.
It'll
be a great showdown, and it looks like that Nevada Union will go in pretty healthy. Not too many injuries tonight. I think Brennan McFadden, who was the one minor who was injured, will probably be back. We'll be able to see Mike McLean back next week, recovering from the concussion, and Jason Weathern, who had the pinched nerve, the stinger from last week, he will be back. Josh Noxon, the big question mark, but if I know Josh is going to give it everything that he can, and if at all he can be there, we will see Josh Noxon in uniform, and we'll see him giving his best.
But an ACL tear is nothing to take lightly. That is very serious. And so I hope that brace does help.
Once the operation occurs, which he will have an operation at the end of the season, they're saying 7 to 12 months recovery.
Ooh.
Scott Baldwin has gone through a very similar, almost the same injury. This is not an arthroscopic surgery. This is a larger surgery that they'll have to go in through the knee for, and he was back in about 4 months. However, Josh is a junior. Mm-hmm. Next year will be his senior year. And however much he feels like things have been stolen from him this season, Josh has a great year ahead of him next season. So, like you said, Marty, it's not something to be taken lightly. And as important as the 2004 campaign is, there'll always be a 2005 campaign also.
Certainly will. Now before we leave here, let's take a look at all of the standings in the foothills, as we can put those up on the screen for you and we can talk about it. We'll start with the Metro League, and there's a shot of Granite Bay on top. They probably will win again tonight, and Nevada Union in second place with a 4-0 record. Grant will more than likely win tonight, and that'll make them 3-1, followed by Yuba City, Johnson, Kennedy, and McClatchy. So the Metro League is as set up into be a three-team race, and we'll see what happens. And the top three teams do make it to the playoffs. And so it looks like Granite Bay, NU, and Grant. It's just a matter of who is going to be the number 1 and 2 and 3 seeds. So we'll look forward to our big contest next week, Jim.
And, Nevada Union needs to keep winning because that home field advantage is very important.
Let's take a look at the Pioneer Valley League,
And
Jim.
there, we see two local teams there. The number 1 team is Colfax, having a sensational season. Not only are they 6-0 overall, but in league play, 3-0. Sandwiched in between Colfax and Bear River is Oakmont, 4-1 overall, 2-0 as far as league is concerned. And Colfax is playing Oakmont tonight, so something's going to give there. And they're in third place is Bear River, 3-3. 2-1 though in league, so that looks a little bit more promising. And then Mesa Verde, Lincoln, West Campus, and then Miraloma.
And the Sierra Foothill League, the powerhouse team this year is Del Oro and Placer. As you can take a look at Placer with 5 wins, no losses, 1 tie, and Del Oro is 6-0. They've beaten just about. Well, they've beaten everybody, but they have beaten some very fine teams this year. And they are the number 1 team in the area, featured by the Sacramento Bee with 3-0 in league, Placer with 1-0 and 1 tie in league, followed by Natomas at 2-1, and then Woodland, Roseville, Wood Creek, and Rockland. Placer and Del Oro will play tomorrow, and that could be a very crucial game for Placer. If they can beat Del Oro, then they'll have it. They'll be 1 step closer to being the number 1 seed in the Sierra Foothill League.
Huge contest.
So there's a shot of the players after they've had their conference with the coaches, and the families are out there. As overall a very good game tonight. Saw a lot of fine performances by the seniors. They all should be very proud of their showing tonight, and now they've just got a big week ahead of them to get ready for Grant, which is all important. Next two games, we got Grant and Granite Bay, and that'll just about do it as far as where Nevada Union is going to end up in the standings, whether they could be number 1, or number 2, or number 3 seed. So the advantage would be to win both those games and come out the number 1 seed, and that'll make all the difference in the playoff spot.
And if I know Dave Humphers at all, he and his staff are going to, over the course of the next 7 days, get this team totally prepared for what they're going to face at Grant.
There's McFadden. He's up walking around, so maybe it's not as bad as it looked on the field.
And there's Gary Renicky and his wife Debbie right there. You see Louise McFadden right in the background there. So, you know, Brennan has a smile on his face, limping a little bit, but you give that boy a couple of days and he's going to be just fine. There's Mrs. Beer Temple right off to the left there, too. So, few pictures there with Gary. Good times, excellent senior night, great opportunity, well played game. Take a look at there. You can see how his shin is being iced down. Fortunately, it was shin rather than a knee. So
right.
There's probably one of the 2 question marks for next week. The other one, of course, being Josh Knox. And I think that Josh will give it a go. How well he does will probably be defined by the second quarter. So, you know, there's another story within the story, Marty, that will be interesting to follow next week. And prior to the game, we'll try to have an injury report on Brennan and talk about how Josh did this week. Josh's brace is due in early this week, so he's going to be able to get a little bit of playing time. Difficult for him to cut, difficult for him to move, but next week's contest against Grant hopefully will be another one of those classic events.
Your executive producer and director for tonight's telecast was Gilbert M. Dominguez. Chiron operator and doing the replays tonight, Grady Fike. Nice job, Grady. Camera operators, Walt Baker, Chris Glass, and Parker McDonald. Your announcers for tonight's game, Marty Mortensen along with color analyst Jim Adams. Underwriting coordinators, Gil Dominguez, Samantha Clapp, and Ron Davis. Office manager, Patty Costa. Hairstyles by Michelle Brown at The Look. Remote facilities tonight. The Commander parked down on the track. You can see it off to the left-hand side of your screen as the crowd begins to leave Hooper Stadium. Stats courtesy of MaxPreps.com. And don't forget, any comments that you'd like to send our way, be sure to do that. Address them to Touchdown Productions, 12059 Nevada City Highway, Suite 106, Grass Valley, 95945. Give us a call at 274-2206 or send us an email at feedback@touchdownproductions.com. Well, Jim, 71-6. Score doesn't really tell how it went tonight. A couple touchdowns were called back on some penalties, so it could have been a really big night. But all in all, you got to hand it to this minor club. They're well coached, and they were out here tonight. Even though they made a few mistakes with the penalties, they did put on a good show for the fans, and a big victory as they take this momentum into next week.
Yeah, they're very focused. They knew the task ahead of them, what they needed to do, and they did a great job of accomplishing it. Their focus didn't leave for a moment. They knew the team that was in front of them in Hiram Johnson, and they went about in a very workmanlike manner and got the job done big time.
Yeah, for senior night, a lot of seniors got into the game tonight and played a whale of a ball game, especially the Potter boys. They look very good out there. So that's it from Hooper Stadium tonight. 71-6 your score in favor of Nevada Union. And for all of the staff here at Touchdown Productions, we'll look forward to seeing you next week against a big game against Grant. And this is Marty Mortensen along with Jim Adams. Gil Dominguez, your executive producer, saying good night, everybody, and we'll see you next week.